Chapter 40-44. Brother Xian, you've finally broken through. Morong Qingcheng also smiled. Her beautiful smile made the surroundings lose their luster. The unparalleled Sage King nodded in satisfaction. As expected of the Nine-Yang divine body and the dragon sword soul. If it were someone else, they would be able to break through 2 or 3 realms in a row. However, you've only broken through 1 realm. This shows that you have great potential. Junior brother, stabilize your realm first. Half a month later, go to Qingshui planet. Hearing this, Lin Xian was also stunned. What else was there if he went to Qingshui planet? You should have heard of the legend of Qingshui planet. Back then, Duan Qingshan was a sage king. Legend has it that he walked out of Qingshui planet. After he grew old, he lived in seclusion on Qingshui planet. Therefore, there was a family in Qingshui planet called the Qingshan family. They should be the descendants of Duan Qingshan. This time, the leader of the Qingshan family is going to celebrate his 3000th birthday. You'll represent me to attend. Okay, I got it. Next, Lin Xian cultivated in the unparalleled secret realm for another half a month to completely stabilize his realm. Then he and Morong Qingcheng got up. Qingshui planet, after experiencing the assassination in the human world, was originally quiet. However, it was lively again these few days. The experts and geniuses of the sage cities rushed over again. The people of Qingshui planet were in an uproar. Rumor has it that there is a Qingshan family in Qingshui planet. They are the descendants of the Sage King. However, they usually hide in the mountains and lakes and can't be found at all. It seemed that these sage cities were here to celebrate the birthday this time. Indeed, ordinary people were not qualified to go to such a place. Only the geniuses of the sage cities and some terrifying experts were qualified to enter. In the void, a stream of light streaked across, and then 2 figures appeared. They were back again. Morong Qingcheng's beautiful eyes flickered. She was very emotional. Because not long ago, they had experienced a life and death battle here. Now they were back again. Lin Xian looked around and realized that many terrifying figures were flying into the distance. He was puzzled. It was really surprising. Logically speaking, Duan Qingshan was already a figure from tens of thousands of years ago. He had already fallen long ago, and there were no saint kings among his descendants. Was such a clan worth such a big fuss? It was indeed very strange. There should be some hidden secrets. We'll know when we get there. The 2 of them flew into the distance. Everyone had only one goal, which was the Green Mountain tribe. Therefore, the further they flew, the more they gathered together. Lin Xian could also feel the terrifying auras of the people around him. There were even many elders among them. They passed through many mountains. In the endless mountain range, he found a mature one. This should be the Green Mountain tribe, hidden in the mountains. Lin Xian looked around. At first, it was just a city deep in the mountains. It was nothing special, but the more he sensed it, the more he realized that this city was not ordinary. There was a mysterious aura around it. On top of the city walls, there were complex Dao runes. Although they had been damaged by the passage of time, they were still extremely terrifying. This was an ancient city that had existed for tens of thousands of years. Could it be that Duan Qingshan had personally built a city for his descendants? The geniuses of the other sacred cities were also shocked. To be honest, they were also disdainful of such a clan. They were just a declining clan. If it were not for the request of their elders, they would not have come. However, at this moment, in front of this Green Mountain city, their expressions changed. Their expressions were solemn. It seemed that they had underestimated the Green Mountain tribe. Just the city walls alone were enough to make them feel like they were facing a great enemy. Therefore, they also stopped looking down on the Green Mountain tribe and began to take this Sage King clan seriously. Let's go. A powerful sage took a deep breath and took the lead to fly into the distance. They landed one after another. In the face of such a terrifying city, no one dared to fly in directly. They could only come down and submit their invitations, and then be brought in. Lin Xian and Morong Qingcheng also landed. In this place, these arrogant and unruly experts actually lined up in a line without the slightest bit of noise. They must have been shocked by the terror of this city. At the entrance, there were 2 lines of 20 people. They were guarding there. They carefully checked their identities, then cupped their fists and entered the city. These 20 guards were not ordinary. They were all sages of the fifth heaven, and each of them had outstanding talents. Moreover, they seemed to be very young. They looked to be about 500 years old. This Green Mountain tribe was incredible. Although they kept a low profile, their foundation was terrifying. Lin Xian thought about it, and felt that it was a little similar to the heavenly demon tribe. They were all terrifying inheritances, but there was no new sage king. Although it might be a little weaker than the sacred city, it was much more powerful than the other big clans. Just their foundation alone was incomparable. It's you. Just at this moment of silence, there was a roar, and in the next moment, countless sword lights. It caused the entire world to tremble violently. The only quiet place was Green Mountain City in front. The expressions of the surrounding sages changed drastically. What a terrifying sword chi. It was the people of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. Morong Qingcheng, how dare you kill my chief disciple? Die. And you Lin Wudi die too. The elders of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion were filled with killing intent when they saw this scene. The surrounding people were shocked. Lin Wudi and Morong Qingcheng, the two of them were here too? Previously, they were shocked by Green Mountain City, and forgot to pay attention to other things. They did not expect the two of them to be among them. The two of them still dared to come. One should know that the previous life and death battle was witnessed by countless people. In their opinion, these two young people would not appear in front of everyone for a short period of time. But they did not expect the other party to see through them. Lin Wudi die. On the other side, the people of the Golden Crow tribe also rushed over. The two sides of the sacred city were firmly surrounded by Lin Xian and Morong Qingcheng. How dare you? Who allowed you to fight here? The 20 guards in front shouted coldly. They struck out, the long spears in their hands uniformly piercing into the void. A terrifying aura fluctuated. Although there were only 20 of them in the fifth heaven, they were not afraid of these small saints. Because they were the people of Green Mountain City. Please forgive us. We have some personal matters to attend to. Don't worry, we won't disturb Green Mountain City. The elder of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion said. On the other side, the people of the Golden Crow tribe also said that they would bring the two of them out of this space. Hearing this, the 20 guards withdrew their long spears and looked indifferent. Kid, have you thought about how you want to die? The two people of the great sage city sneered. Chapter 40-45. Lin Xian snorted coldly. You want to attack me? Jianchen is dead. The sixth Golden Crow Prince is also dead. Have you chosen a new crown prince and chief disciple? If you have, let them come and have a death match with me. Otherwise, get out of my sight. You're courting death. I'll kill you today. A golden crow? The elder roared and descended from the sky. In an instant he arrived in front of Lin Xian. With a wave of his hand, the true sun flame instantly enveloped Lin Xian. The surrounding void collapsed in an instant. The true sun flame was truly too terrifying. It caused the surrounding people to turn pale. This is an expert of the older generation. He's even stronger than the sixth Golden Crow Prince. Can Lin Xian resist him? Lin Xian snorted coldly. He stretched out his golden hand and grabbed all the true sun flame in his palm. Then he struck out with his palm. This time the true sun flame flew out. Along with it, the 9 suns divine flame intertwined and shot towards the elder of the Golden Crow race. With a loud bang, the elder was pushed back 3 steps. His arm hung limply by his side. He was dumbfounded. He couldn't say a word. Not only was his opponent able to block his attack, but he was also able to force him back. The others were also in an uproar. This kid's strength had become stronger again. Damn it. We must kill him. These people's eyes turned red. It had only been a few months, but his strength had become stronger again. If this continued, he would break through to the minor saint realm very soon. They couldn't let this person be arrogant and grow stronger. In an instant, the people of the Golden Crow race and Wanjian sect were ready to attack. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Who dares to attack? He took out a token and said coldly. This time, I'm here to represent the unparalleled Saint King in the birthday banquet. Whoever touches me will be challenging the unparalleled Saint King. His cold voice echoed in all directions. Everyone was in an uproar. His identity was too extraordinary. The people of Wanjian's sect sneered. What qualifications does a third-generation disciple have? The Golden Crow race's people didn't believe it either. The others were also shocked. That's right. If one were to represent the Sage King, then it should be the first-generation disciple, Linghu Chueshue, or the second-generation disciple, Fu Hongye. How could it be the turn of the third-generation disciple, Lin Wudi? Lin Xian snorted coldly. Open your dog eyes and take a good look. This is the Wushuang order. Everyone carefully forgot about it, and then gasped for breath. They could sense the aura of a Sage King from the token. It really was the Sage King's token. Furthermore, it was a personal token. Damn it! Did the other party really represent the Saint King? This Lin Wudi was already valued to such an extent. Could it be that he had already become a personal disciple? All kinds of thoughts flashed across their minds. What, do you still dare to make a move? Lin Xian looked at the people from the Myriad Swords Pavilion and the Golden Crow tribe. The faces of these two experts from the Great Sage City turned extremely ugly. Although they were strong, they did not dare to provoke the Sage King. Humph! The people from the Myriad Swords Pavilion snorted coldly and kept their long swords. Brat, consider yourself lucky this time. The next time I see you, I will definitely kill you. As they spoke, they walked in. On the other side, the people from the Golden Crow tribe also said, you won't be so lucky every time. A battle ended just like that. Lin Xian took out the Wushuang order, which shocked the people of Green Mountain City. They had heard of Lin Wudi's name, but in such a situation, with so many elders and seniors present, Lin Wudi, a young rising star, could not attract their attention at all. Even if the other party was the chief disciple, it would not work, because there were too many chief disciples present this time. But now that the other party took out the Sage King order, it was different. This was a representative of the Sage King. Such an identity was completely above those people. Therefore, they even sent an elder to personally welcome him. They invited Lin Xian and Morong Qingqing in. The two elders came together and respectfully invited them in. This was too grand. Many people's eyes were red. They did not receive such treatment. Even these older generation figures did not receive such treatment. A young junior had surpassed them. But there was no other way. Who asked him to have the Wushuang order? After entering, Lin Xian saw many people in the city. There were people from the Green Mountain tribe, and also people from the Second Galaxy, the big families, and the Sacred City. It was really too lively inside. And in this Green Mountain City was a huge city. It was very spacious inside. The mansion they were going to this time was at the center of Green Mountain City. The two elders, beside Lin Xian and Morong Qingqing, introduced the buildings and halls to them. These buildings and halls seemed to have a history. Lin Xian was greatly surprised after hearing this. Morong Qingqing, who was beside him, also blinked her eyes curiously. At this moment, 5 thunderclaps sounded in the distance. The two elders' faces changed. What's going on? Lin Xian asked. The two elders said that a big shot at the Sacred Master level had come. Both of you, please forgive us for not treating you well. We have to go and entertain the Sacred Master. The two elders had apologetic expressions on their faces. It's okay. Elders, please go ahead. Lin Xian cupped his fists. Anyway, they already knew the location of the mansion. Besides, the two of them had more freedom to wander around. The two elders left. Lin Xian even found that many elders in Green Mountain City had been dispatched. It seemed that they were going to welcome a big shot. Indeed, a sacred master was in existence above a small saint. He was a terrifying expert at the 7th heaven of the Sage Realm, second only to the Sage King. Such a person would be the overlord of a region in the universe. In the Holy City, they would also be elders or protectors with high authority. He was far from being comparable to an ordinary elder or other sage. The arrival of such a person was enough to cause a sensation. Sure enough, countless people in Green Mountain City raised their heads and looked over. In the next moment, they saw a majestic figure being respectfully invited in by countless elders. In an instant, he disappeared into the mansion in the distance. Is that a sacred master? It's so scary. I can feel an extremely terrifying aura from him. Not long after, another 5 thunderclaps sounded. The second sacred master was also invited in. Lin Xian and Morong Qingqing were also surprised. It seemed that many big shots had come. They wondered what was going on. Was it just for the birthday celebration? In fact, everyone had doubts in their hearts. Lin Xian and Morong Qingqing went on their way again. At this moment, a voice came from afar. By Shanchuan, don't blame me for being rude if you continue to follow me. The voice attracted the attention of countless people. Lin Xian and Morong Qingqing also stopped and looked to the left. Because the voice was extremely familiar. It was Sister Hongxiu. Morong Qingqing was stunned. Even Lin Xian was stunned. Li Hongxiu was standing in front, but her face was a little pale. In front of her was a young man in a white robe. Chapter 40-46. What's going on? Lin Xian and Morong Qingqing walked over immediately. Hongxiu, are these people pestering you? Lin Xian asked with a frown. Morong Qingqing also asked, Sister Hongxiu, do you want us to help you? Both of them had teamed up to fight against the enemy in Roland's Golden Palace, and had formed a strong friendship. It's you guys. Li Hongxiu exclaimed when she saw the scene. The man in the white robe frowned. With an unfriendly look on his face, he shot Lin Xian a glance. However, when he saw Morong Qingqing, his expression froze for a second, and then a trace of fire appeared in his eyes. What a stunning beauty! She was not inferior to Li Hongxiu. In fact, she was even more outstanding. He was dumbfounded. The geniuses around him were also dumbfounded, and their eyes burned with passion. Morong Qingqing frowned when she saw the scene. Li Hongxiu snorted and Bai Shanchuan came back to his senses. He was pursuing Li Hongxiu and couldn't be too interested in other beauties. However, Morong Qingqing was too beautiful. Although he tried his best to restrain himself, he couldn't help but look in her direction. Hongxiu, what's going on? Who are these guys? Lin Xian asked coldly. Bai Shanchuan came back to his senses. I'm asking you. Who are they? Especially this brat. Who was he? He had a strong sense of enmity towards him. This brat was actually able to walk together with such a peerless beauty. His heart was filled with jealousy, especially when he seemed to be on good terms with Li Hongxiu. He was going crazy with jealousy. Li Hongxiu wanted to say something, but a smile suddenly appeared on her face. She told me and you that he's her man. Why are you unhappy? Speaking of this, she whispered a message to Morong Qingqing. Sister Qingqing, I need to borrow your man for a while. Lin Xian was stunned. Oh my god. What's the meaning of this? Bai Shanchuan was even more stunned. This guy is Li Hongxiu's man? What a joke. Why haven't I heard you mention it before? Why should I tell you? Li Hongxiu snorted. Bai Shanchuan said, Hongxiu, stop acting. Your acting skills aren't that great. How could you be a couple with him? At this point he looked at Morong Qingqing. His meaning was obvious. Morong Qingqing held Lin Xian's other arm and said with a smile, Can't we like the same man? Hearing this, Bai Shanchuan almost spat out a mouthful of blood. The geniuses around him went crazy as well. Fuck. Two peerless beauties were actually taken by a man. Damn it. If looks could kill, they would have hacked Lin Xian into 1,000 pieces. Lin Xian on the other on his left on the right. However, he could tell that Bai Shanchuan was pestering Li Hongxiu. Therefore he said, Yeah, both of them are my women. Come and bite me if you're unhappy. Kid, do you want to die? Quickly let go of Hongxiu. Bai Shanchuan shouted angrily. A terrifying purple light appeared on his body. A terrifying aura spread out. This Bai Shanchuan was also a minor saint. And it seemed that his cultivation had reached the peak of the early minor saint. Yeah, that's right. Kid, quickly kneel down and accept your death. What right do you have to have such beauties? The people behind him roared crazily. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. How dare you fight with me? Do you know who I am? I don't care who you are. How dare you snatch my woman? I can only say that you're tired of living. Bai Shanchuan roared. The surrounding people were also stunned, and their expressions became extremely strange. It was Lin Wudi. Oh my god, is there anyone who dares to provoke Lin Wudi? Is that white-robed guy an idiot? He actually dares to provoke Lin Wudi. Sigh, he should be a retard. I don't think he can survive. Discussions broke out. Bai Shanchuan was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. These people didn't think highly of him, and even called him an idiot. Do you guys want to die? His gaze swept across the surroundings. Those people were so scared that they didn't dare to speak. However, there were still people who snorted. You challenged Lin Wuti and said that we're courting death. Why don't you ask about Lin Wuti's battle record? Lin Xian said after listening. Did you hear that? I advise you not to fight. So, you're that Lin Wuti? Bai Shanchuan's face turned cold. How could he not have heard of this name? He just didn't expect it to be this kid in front of him. You're Lin Wuti. So what? Do you think that you can compete with me just because you killed a few young geniuses? Bai Shanchuan sneered. I can't be compared to those young geniuses. I've been a small saint for 80 years. Can you compete with me? Moreover, you dare to use the title of invincible? You're really courting death. Bai Shanchuan was not afraid of Lin Xian. Moreover, he was acting all high and mighty. The surrounding people were shocked. Who is this person? Even the chief disciple isn't as arrogant as him. That's right. He's not someone on the pilgrimage list. If someone on the pilgrimage list was so arrogant towards Lin Xian, it would be understandable. However, where did this white-robed man get his courage from? Lin Xian was also stunned. He looked at Li Hongxiu and asked, who is this retard? His name was Bai Shanchuan. He was from the Purple Virtual Temple. His grandfather was a Saint Venerable who was just invited in. The grandson of a Saint Venerable. No wonder he's so arrogant. It seems that he's so unscrupulous because his grandfather is here. After the others heard, their scalps went numb. They didn't dare to say anything else. His grandfather was a Saint Venerable. Moreover, he was in Qingshan City. They didn't dare to provoke such a terrifying existence. No wonder he dared to provoke Lin Wuti. Lin Xian was also stunned after hearing this. Then he sneered disdainfully. It turns out that he's a person who uses his grandfather's name to intimidate others. I thought you were some powerful genius. If your grandfather wasn't here, would you dare to be so arrogant? Bai Shanchuan was so angry that he wanted to vomit blood. How dare you question me? Kid, I want to duel with you. His eyes were red. He wanted to use his strength to prove himself. I refuse. What if you can't beat me and bring out your grandfather? Lin Xian shook his head. Nonsense. I won't use my grandfather's name. I want to defeat you personally. Bai Shanchuan roared. You don't dare? Are you sure? Lin Xian's lips curled up into a smile. Of course I'm sure. Bai Shanchuan snorted. If I win, I'll disappear from the sight of these two beauties. Okay, I agree to your condition. But if I win, you'll disappear from Hongxia's sight too. You'll never pester her again. Hearing Lin Xian's words, Bai Shanchuan snorted. Come, I'll show you how powerful I am. There was a special sacred battle platform in the distance. As he spoke, Bai Shanchuan walked forward. Lin Xian hugged the beauties on his left and right and followed him. The surrounding people were stunned. Is there going to be a battle? It was unbelievable. They didn't expect that after a life-and-death battle here a few months ago, there would be someone who dared to provoke Lin Xian. Moreover, it was the grandson of a Saint Venerable. Chapter 40-47. Do you think Lin Wuti dares to fight? That Saint Venerable is in the city. Who knows? Don't you know Lin Wuti's character? It doesn't matter if you're a Saint Venerable or the grandson of a Saint King. He can beat you until you call him Grandpa. On the other side, Morong Qingqing frowned slightly. Brother Xian, hold back. Don't kill him. Otherwise, it'll be troublesome if that Saint Venerable comes. It's impossible for them to fight against a Saint Venerable with their current strength. Lin Xian nodded. Don't worry. I'll let him live for the sake of his grandpa. On the other side, in the Green Mountain Mansion, there was a magnificent hall. All the top experts were gathered there. He was either a powerful elder or a terrifying Saint Venerable. Among them, there was an old man in a cloud robe. His aura was terrifying. He was a Saint Venerable. He was Bai Shanchuan's grandpa, a powerful existence in the Purple Virtual Palace. Sitting next to him was the chief elder of the Green Mountain sect. At this moment, the great elder seemed to have received the news and was surprised. Oh, what's going on? The other Saint Venerables asked. The great elder of the Green Mountain sect said, Taoist Bai, your grandson seems to be fighting with someone. Do you want me to send someone to stop him? Many sacred venerables looked at sacred venerate Bai. The Saint Venerable Bai was also stunned. Who is Shanchuan going to fight with? I heard it's Lin Wudi. Many people's eyes lit up. Are you talking about Lin Wudi from the Wushuang city? He just killed the 6th prince of the Golden Crow not long ago. Why did he have a conflict with Bai Shanchuan? Discussions broke out one after another. Saint Venerable Bai was also stunned, but then he smiled. It's okay. Shanchuan's strength is above the 6th prince of the Golden House. He's already at the peak of the early stage of the 6th heaven. He's just one step away from the intermediate small saint. His strength shouldn't be a problem. All right, let the younger generation solve their own problems. It seemed that Saint Venerable Bai was very confident in his grandson. The others nodded and didn't say anything. After all, no matter how terrifying Lin Wudi was to them, he was just a young junior, nothing more. Even if the other party was extremely talented and could become the great sage in the future, or even an existence above the great sage, that would be a matter of thousands of years later. News of the battle between Lin Xian and Bai Shanchuan quickly spread through Qingshan City. Many people gathered at the ancient ring. Bai Shanchuan stood in the ring and looked down. Brat, come on. I'll let you know the difference between us in this battle. Bai Shanchuan snorted. The surrounding people were discussing spiritedly. Who was this person? He actually dared to challenge Lin Wudi. He was Bai Shanchuan. His grandfather was the lord, and he lived in the mansion. It turned out that he was someone with such a background. Moreover, his cultivation was already at the peak of the early stage of the 6th heavenly layer. Soon he would enter the middle stage. He was even stronger than the 6th Golden Crow Prince. Perhaps he could really suppress Lin Wudi. No wonder he dared to fight with Lin Wudi. It turned out that he was such a terrifying expert. Hearing the envious voices around him, Bai Shanchuan's lips curled into a proud smile. On the other side, Lin Xian also walked up to the ring. He was expressionless and said plainly, Let's start quickly. I don't have time to play with you. Play? Do you think I'm playing with you? Bai Shanchuan's eyes flashed with killing intent. He instantly turned into a stream of light and dashed over. What a fast speed! The surrounding people exclaimed. Li Hongxiu also exclaimed. Great void step. Brat, be careful. This is the unique skill of the Purple Virtual Temple. The Great Void Step was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, he was in front of Lin Xian. A palm came down from the sky. He has some strength. Lin Xian's eyes lit up. He originally thought that this person was just relying on his grandfather's reputation. Now it seemed that he had some real skills. His strength was even above the Golden Crow Prince and Jian Chen. Interesting. Let's try it out on you. Lin Xian had just broken through and wanted to give it a try. Now that he met such a top expert, his blood was boiling. His body swayed. His entire body was like a kuanping as he dodged instantly. Brat, do you think you can dodge me? Bai Shanchuan sneered and continued to use the Great Void Step. Lin Xian used the kuanping movement technique. The two of them were like two bolts of lightning as they shuttled back and forth on the ring. The surrounding people were stunned. They could not catch the two of them at all. They could only see some afterimages. So fast. These two are too strong. Yeah, if I were to fight with them, I would probably be killed instantly. Some of the geniuses from the sacred city were also sweating profusely. The older generation figures sighed as well. We're old. There are new talents in every generation. We've been eliminated by the times. Purple Light Palm. Seeing that his opponent's speed was not inferior to his, Bai Shanchuan's face turned cold. His Great Void Step was extremely terrifying in terms of speed. He had never seen anyone in the same realm who was faster than him. Not to mention someone whose cultivation level was lower than his. But now his opponent's speed was not inferior to his at all. He was even suppressing him. How could he tolerate this? Therefore, he did not compete with his opponent in terms of speed. Instead, he attacked abruptly. She extended her palm towards the void. In her palm, countless purple laws permeated the air. Then, They formed a purple light that shrouded the entire arena. Every ray of light was like a peerless heavenly blade that carried an unusually cold chi. With this palm, his opponent would not be able to escape no matter how fast he was. Another unique skill. Many people exclaimed. They could see that the purple light was equally terrifying. He's indeed the grandson of the Lord. Looks like he's been taught by the Lord all these years. His strength is too strong. I feel that this Bai Shanchuan can fight against a middle minor saint expert. Indeed, Lin Wuti has met his match. What a terrifying palm technique. Lin Xian was also surprised. However, he snorted and threw out a punch. A fist bloomed with radiance, emitting an unparalleled radiance along with the sun. The two of them continued to collide. Every collision was earth-shattering. After 4 blows, Bai Shanchuan's face became extremely solemn. To be honest, although they had not fought much, his opponent's technique had shocked him. He realized that his purple light palm could not do anything to his opponent. His opponent's fist seemed to be able to pierce through the sky. Damn it. I don't believe that I can't do anything to you. Bai Shanchuan gritted his teeth and shouted. He retracted his hand and did not use the purple light palm again. Instead, he kept forming seals. The seals were formed very quickly. He formed thousands of seals in a row. Damn it! Is this the legendary sky-flipping seal? Bai Shanchuan has already learned this unique skill. Please support me. Chapter 40-48. As soon as the voice came out, many people's faces changed drastically. This was a peerless divine power. Legend had it that it could even overturn the heavens. However, it was very difficult to cultivate this kind of technique. Legend had it that not many people in the Purple Void Temple knew it. Most of them were elders. Among those young people, no one had heard of anyone who could use the overturning sky seal. Who would have thought that Bai Shanchuan could use the overturning sky seal now? Kid, let's see how you'll die this time. Bai Shanchuan's lips curled into a cold smile. Not good. Li Hongxiu exclaimed. Morong Qingcheng also frowned. Lin Xian's face also froze. What a terrifying aura. His body swayed, and he instantly threw out a punch. His entire arm seemed to have turned into a golden dragon, rushing forward. Block it for me. Bai Shanchuan opened his mouth and spat out a huge mountain, blocking in front of him. The mountain law on it was very terrifying. However, it exploded in an instant. Not only that, the fist smashed into his hand and sent him flying. With a crack, his arms turned into a bloody mist. A miserable sound was heard as he vomited blood. Was it broken? Many people screamed. The older generation figures were also stunned. They did not expect the overturning sky seal to be broken by Lin Wuti before it could form. Damn kid, how dare you break my divine power? Bai Shanchuan covered his wound and gritted his teeth as he roared. Lin Xian sneered. You're too slow at forming seals. You won't even be able to make a move. You'll probably be defeated by your opponent. This time, I'm giving face to your grandfather. Otherwise, I could have destroyed your soul with that blow. Those people from the Purple Void Temple also became extremely frightened. They did not expect young Master Bai to be defeated. Damn it, how could it be like this? Young Master Bai, are you alright? Damn Lin Wuti, how dare you hurt our young Master Bai? Do you want to die? They quickly kowtowed and apologized. These people roared crazily. Humph. Lin Xian snorted coldly. His vision was very small. These people held their heads and screamed. They were instantly attacked by his eye technique. All of them were bleeding from their 7 orifices. So powerful. The others were terrified, no longer daring to clamor. You have lost this battle. Disappear from Hongxiu's sight. Lin Xian said coldly. On the other side, Bai Shanchuan struggled to stand up. His somewhat handsome face became extremely ferocious. Damn brat, I haven't lost yet. You were the one who launched a sneak attack just now. Now you can go to hell for me. As he spoke, he formed another seal with his hands. A small seal flew out from between his eyebrows. It was a palm made of jade. It was very exquisite and very small. As soon as it appeared, it grew bigger with the wind. Bai Shanchuan spat out a mouthful of blood on it, then shouted angrily. Sky-flipping seal. Die for me. What's going on? Everyone was shocked. Wasn't the other party's overturning sky seal already broken? Do you still want to use it? No, Bai Shanchuan's speed was too slow. If it were someone else, he might have been able to succeed. But Lin Wudi's speed was too fast. He simply didn't give his opponent any time to react. Those experts shook their heads. But soon they said that something was wrong. They realized that Bai Shanchuan didn't form any seals at all. But the small jade hand that he spat out suddenly grew bigger. That hand actually formed a seal. It was like a huge seal that slammed down from the sky. Seeing that seal, someone screamed. That was the sky-flipping seal. How was that possible? How could he use it without forming any seals? What was that? Some of the older experts screamed. They used the sky-flipping seal in advance, condensing it with powerful natural treasures and fusing their power into it. It was a life-saving technique that could be used directly in times of crisis. What? The sky-flipping seal that the sacred master used was fused into the sacred artifact? The surrounding people were all stunned. Oh no, Brother Xian! Morong Qingcheng also exclaimed. That wasn't Bai Shanchuan's power at all. That was the power of the sacred master. Damn it, how dare you cheat! Li Hongxia was also furious. Kid, retreat. There was no need to fight with him anymore. He had already lost. It was too late. Bai Shanchuan sneered and locked onto Lin Xian. Lin Xian felt a fatal danger. Was that the real sky-flipping seal? Buzz! He roared angrily, and a dragon-shaped sword soul instantly appeared in his hand. With a roar, endless light shone so brightly that everyone couldn't open their eyes. Meanwhile, he waved the dragon-shaped sword chi and slashed down, colliding with the sky-flipping seal in the sky. Boom! 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 A violent explosion sounded, and everyone kept retreating. However, many people shook their heads. It was over. Lin Wudi was dead for sure this time. They didn't expect Bai Shanchuan to have such a trump card. Not to mention Lin Wudi, they reckoned that no one below the sacred master level could resist it. After all, it was a life-saving treasure. However, they were soon stunned. That was because they discovered that the cyclic sky seal had been sliced apart by the sword. The cyclic sky seal in the sky had been split into two. Bai Shanchuan also vomited blood and flew backward. A crack appeared between his eyebrows and spread all the way to his stomach. The crack was getting bigger and bigger, and his entire body was dyed red with blood. Bai Shanchuan screamed in horror. How was that possible? His opponent had broken his sky-flipping seal, and he had injured him. That was unbelievable. That was a life-saving treasure that his grandfather had personally given him. How could his opponent have broken it? The others were also stunned. They didn't expect that Bai Shanchuan would be the one to lose, and his life might even be in danger. The dragon-shaped sword shadow in the sky was still descending, and Bai Shanchuan was about to die. At the same time, in the mansion of Qingshan City, the sacred masters and martial venerables were chatting and laughing. All of a sudden, Saint Bai spoke up through Kongmeng. A jade pendant on his waist suddenly shattered. Oh no, Shanchuan is in danger. With that, he tore open the void and disappeared. Boom. In the arena, Bai Shanchuan was in despair. His life-saving treasure was gone. Was he really going to die? Grandpa, save me! He screamed crazily. With a loud boom, a huge palm directly blasted the dragon-shaped sword chi away. Moreover, Lin Xian was also hit by the power. His pupils constricted, and he immediately performed the void-walking technique and appeared in another space. Where Lin Xian was, the void shattered, and a black hole appeared that connected to the netherworld. Terrifying. That was the real sky-flipping seal. Who was it? Was it a sacred master? Everyone screamed. Brother Xian, Morong Qingcheng, and Li Hongxia were also extremely nervous. However, when they saw Lin Xian appear in another direction, they all let out a sigh of relief. Lin Xian's face was extremely cold. If he didn't have the space divine ability and the heavenly secret divine eyes, he would have been in danger. When a sacred master attacked, he could only dodge in advance. If he reacted and dodged again, he would definitely die. That should be Bai Shanchuan's grandfather, Sacred Master Bai, right? Chapter 40-49. Who would have thought that the Purple Virtual Palace was so despicable that they dared to break the rules of the second astral realm? Lin Xian's cold voice was heard. The others felt numb. Indeed, A sacred master was not allowed to attack anyone below the sacred master level. But the attack just now was obviously merciless. If Lin Xian was hit, he would definitely be smashed into pieces. How could you be so ruthless at such a young age? How dare you injure my grandson like this? Sacred Master Bei's face was extremely cold. Although he had blocked the attack just now, Bai Shanchuan's injury was beyond his expectation. The sword mark on his body was too terrifying. The aura left on it was so sharp that it shocked him. If Bai Shanchuan was alone, he would not be able to heal the sword mark. Am ruthless? Lin Xian laughed. Do you think everyone is an idiot? Why don't you ask who was the one who used a forbidden weapon to kill me? You're the one who left the sky-flipping seal to him. That's your power. Your grandson wants to kill me, and am not allowed to fight back? Your grandson is despicable and shameless. Not only did you not educate him, you even protected him. And you're even more despicable and shameless than your grandson. You actually want to kill a young genius. A crooked stick will have a crooked shadow. Sacred Master Bai was so angry that his nose was crooked. He was a sacred master, and no one dared to provoke him. But this brat in front of him actually acted so recklessly. Space tore open, and the other holy venerates appeared. When they saw this scene, their expressions sank as well. Because they were sacred masters, they had to protect the dignity of sacred masters. Young man, you've gone too far. Didn't your sacred city teach you how to respect your elders? One of them said coldly. Humph. I respect true heroes. As for those despicable and shameless people who attack the younger generation, I despise them no matter how high their cultivation is. Good. Today, I'll represent Wushuang City to teach you a lesson. Sacred Master Bai was so angry that he laughed. He waved his hand and the sky-flipping seal was thrown out again. The surrounding people went crazy. If this attack continued, Bai Shanchuan would be half dead or half crippled. His soul would probably be destroyed. This Lin Wudi was too arrogant. That's right. Normally, it was fine for him to go against those young geniuses. But now he actually dared to disregard the sacred venerables. He probably wouldn't have a good ending. The other holy venerates did the same, watching coldly. They also felt that the other party was too arrogant and needed to be properly suppressed. Fight me. Look at what this is. Lin Xian took out the Wushuang token again. He didn't dodge at all. The unparalleled medallion blossomed with light, and a voice sounded from within. What? You dare to make a move against me? Accompanying him was a young man who looked to be around 15 or 16 years old. As soon as he appeared, he gave off an extremely terrifying aura. Wang. The cataclysmic seal in the sky was instantly shattered by the youth's palm. Not only that, but one of Saint White's arms had also exploded into a bloody mist. Ah! He screamed miserably, his face pale. His holy blood pierced through heaven and earth. Oh my heavens! What's going on? 100 Saint Venerables are injured. This was impossible, right? The surrounding people were all dumbfounded. The eyelids of the other holy venerates twitched wildly. A wave of fear gushed out from the bottom of their hearts. The Holy King's phantom. They looked at the handsome youth in front of them, and their faces became extremely solemn. The others also looked over. Holy King. This young man is actually a Holy King. Could he be the unparalleled Holy King? Everyone knew that there was a Holy King in every holy city, but very few had actually seen a Holy King. Hence, they didn't know that the Holy King looked so young. What? Are you going to make a move against the people of Wushuang City? The unparalleled Holy King's phantom asked after he came out. Holy King White, quickly say that I wouldn't dare. This is a misunderstanding. My grandson is useless and offended the genius of Wushuang City. I'm going to punish him now. As he spoke, he recovered his arm and slapped Bai Shanchuan's face. Slap. Bai Shanchuan's face was smashed, and he fell to the ground, wailing like a ghost. He couldn't believe that his grandfather would hit him so hard. Then Saint White looked at Lin Xian and said with a smile, Forgive me, young master. I was just playing with you just now. If. Lin Xian sneered. Playing with me? If he didn't have the Wushuang order, he would have been killed. Indeed, the unparalleled Holy King's phantom sneered. Playing with me? Then I'll play with you too. Take my attack. Saint White was scared out of his wits when he heard that. Although it was just a phantom, He was still a holy king. His means were not something that Saint White could withstand. Hence he quickly said, "Holy king, please calm down. I won't dare to make a move against Wuxia City anymore. Young Master Lin, on the account that I know my mistake, I beg of young Master Lin to let me off." The Saint Master was so powerful that countless elders of the Green Mountain tribe came out to greet him personally as soon as he arrived. But now he was bowing down in front of Lin Xian. Coupled with the fact that he was so arrogant just now, it was really ironic. Seeing that Lin Xian was unmoved, Saint White gritted his teeth and looked at Bai Shanchuan. "It's all your fault, you little bastard. How dare you offend young Master Lin? Get over here. I'll beat you to death today." He conjured a whip of law and whipped Bai Shanchuan's body. Bai Shanchuan's flesh was torn apart. After a few thousand lashes, Bai Shanchuan was beaten beyond recognition. His flesh was badly mangled, but he still had a breath left in him. Everyone's scalp went numb. This Saint Lord Bai was really ruthless. He was even so ruthless to his own grandson. It seemed like Saint White was really scared. Lin Xian had a cold smirk on his face the entire time. This matter still depended on his senior brother. Seeing that, the unparalleled Holy King's phantom said, "I'll spare your life today for the sake of the Green Mountain tribe's birthday. If you dare to make a move against the people of Wuxia City, I'll let you know what it means to be dead." After saying that, the unparalleled Holy King's phantom disappeared. Saint White's back was drenched in sweat. The other Holy Kings were also sweating profusely. At this moment, the way they looked at Lin Xian had changed. Damn it! This kid was here on behalf of the unparalleled Holy King. His identity was really extraordinary. He was not weaker than them. The people of the Green Mountain tribe were stunned. A few elders quickly walked over and said, "This way, please. Please forgive us for not being a good host." They respectfully invited Lin Xian and his group in. Those Holy Kings' faces were gloomy. They did not say a word and returned to the main hall. The surrounding people were in an uproar. It was really exciting. They reckoned that Bai Shanchuan would not dare to come out and show off in the future. They wanted to spread the news. But soon, the people of the Purple Void Palace came to warn them. Whoever dared to spread the news would be killed without mercy. These people knew that the Purple Void Palace would not let the news spread for the sake of a holy king's reputation. So most people did not know about it. Only a small number of people who were watching the battle knew about it. But it was enough. Chapter 40-50. At this moment, these sacred venerables and the elders of the Qingshan clan were all in awe of Lin Xian. Lin Xian and the others felt uncomfortable being surrounded by a group of old monsters, so they found an excuse to leave the hall after a while. After leaving, Li Hongxiu heaved a sigh of relief. "Great, I won't be bothered by that guy anymore. I have to thank you this time. It's nothing. Let's go. The scenery over there is pretty good. Let's go take a look." Lin Xian brought the two beauties to play around in the mansion. On the other side, the atmosphere in the hall had also eased up a little. I didn't expect this Lin Wudi to be valued so much that he even brought the unparalleled token. I wonder if he has become a personal disciple? He should be, right? Although he is strong, it will take a few hundred years for him to fully mature. Only by relying on the Wuxia token can you fight against us. What we really need to see is the pilgrim role. It is said that there are a few geniuses who have the strength to enter the pilgrim role. I wonder what kind of bloody storm will be stirred up for this role. That's not very likely. Although these rising geniuses are strong, it is still too difficult for them to enter the pilgrim role. Every single person on that list was a world-shaking powerhouse. Someone else is coming. Suddenly, a sacred venerate looked into the distance. The other sacred venerables also stood up. It seems that an old friend has come. Let's go out and welcome him. Sure enough, another sacred venerate came. Qingshan City was once again in an uproar. However, Lin Xian and the others didn't know that at this moment, they were sitting in the pavilion, feeling the breeze and looking at the fish in the pond. They were very relaxed. "Big brother Zhan, your swordsmanship is really too powerful. With your pointers, my swordsmanship actually improved again." "That's right. In just 2 days, our swordsmanship has improved. It's really incredible." At this moment, a few excited voices came from the courtyard opposite the pond. Then a young man's voice sounded. You are all geniuses of the sword. I'm just giving you some guidance. I'll teach you another move. Go take a look. It's the sword geniuses of the Myriad Swords Pavilion teaching sword skills. Let's go listen too. Many people surrounded them. Among them, there were many people from the Qingshan clan. Lin Xian's brows twitched when he heard this. Myriad Swords Pavilion, Big Brother Zhan. When did another expert appear in Jiang'a? To be honest, he had seen many sword saints, but there was only one that could enter his eyes, and that was Wan Jianyi. He didn't even take a liking to Jianqin, so why was there another genius in the way of the sword here? Let's go and have a look. Lin Xian, Morong Qingqing, and Li Hongxue walked down from the pavilion. They walked on the water and crossed the pond. Then he walked to the courtyard next door. Many people had gathered in the courtyard next door. A young man and 3 people from the Qingshan clan were standing in front of them. A young girl and 2 young men. At this moment he was extremely excited. That man with a long sword on his back should be the so-called Big Brother Zhan. Someone exclaimed from the side. Zhan Xiongfei. They didn't expect him to be here too. He was the genius disciple of the previous generation. Yeah, his strength had already reached the intermediate minor saint realm, and his sword skills were even better. They would definitely benefit from his guidance. Countless people were discussing. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. The previous generation of the Myriad Swords Pavilion's disciple. No wonder he was so excited. He should be around 500 years older than them. He was from the same generation as Fu Hongya. The young girl and the 2 young men were around 15 or 16 years old. Although they were young, their chi wasn't weak. They were both kings, as expected of a big clan. A 14 or 15-year-old king would be a top overlord in other worlds. The young girl's sword technique was a soft sword technique, like a cool breeze. It was ethereal, but it was strange and tricky. It was like an antelope's horn, and it couldn't be seen clearly. At this moment, Zhan Xiongfei looked at this scene and nodded slightly. Not bad, but the speed of her attack should be faster. Don't treat the sword as a weapon. Treat it as a part of your body. It's like treating it as your arm. Only then can you achieve the unity of man and sword better. Also, you have to change your state of mind. You have to imagine yourself as a gust of wind. What you practice is the wind sword skill. You have to integrate yourself into the sword skill. After hearing this, the young girl nodded. Although she didn't fully understand, she still did as she was told. Sure enough, the sword skill became more ethereal. This time, it was as if she couldn't see clearly. The surrounding geniuses exclaimed. As expected of Zhan Xiongfei, he could enlighten people with just a few words. Thank you, Big Brother Zhan. The young girl was very happy. To be honest, according to age, Zhan Xiongfei was old enough to be the ancestor of these 3 young men. However, the status of the Green Mountain clan was high. Therefore, they were treated as peers. Alright, I'll give you some pointers on your prairie fire sword skill. Zhan Xiongfei nodded and looked at the other young man. That young man was incomparably excited. He pulled out a fiery red sword. With a twist of his wrist, the sword pierced out. Flames danced in the sky, burning fiercely. With a single slash, a crack appeared in the void. Many people exclaimed. It seemed that this young man was also a genius. Zhan Xiongfei said, the power is very good, but it's not enough. When you attack, raise your arm an inch higher. When you stop, move your arm an inch to the left. Try again. That young man's face was red. He nodded. According to Zhan Xiongfei's instructions, he attacked again. This time, he was actually able to split open 2 cracks in the void. Great, the power has become stronger. The young man was excited. The others also exclaimed. This Zhan Xiongfei was really amazing. Brother Zhan is really a sword genius. Now that I've seen it, I'm really impressed. Impressed. Many people began to flatter him. However, at this moment, laughter came from the crowd. Who dared to laugh at this time? Did they not want to live anymore? Zhan Xiongfei's face also darkened. Oh, I wonder who it is. Do you have an opinion about my words? You can come out and give me some pointers. When he spoke, his gaze was also very small. Soon it locked onto a place. The others also looked over. In the next moment, they were discussing what beautiful women. They were the first to see two beautiful women. They were like fairies. Even Zhang Xiongfei was stunned. However, soon someone screamed, "Isn't that Lin Wuди?" Indeed, the person between the two peerless beauties was Lin Xian. The laughter from before was also made by Lin Xian. At this moment, there was still a smile on his face. When he saw many people with strange expressions, he said, "Sorry, I couldn't help it because it was too funny." "What are you laughing at?" The people of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion roared. "Damn it, it's that guy again. He's too detestable." Their chief disciple was killed by that woman next to him. Moreover, it was closely related to Lin Wuди. They wished they could tear her into pieces. Now she was laughing at their senior brother Zhan again. Chapter 40-51. Zhang Xiongfei was also stunned. Then he narrowed his eyes. "So you're Lin Wudi." Then he looked at Morong Qingcheng. "You're the one who killed junior brother Jian Chun." A cold light appeared in his eyes. Xian also stopped smiling. "Why? Do you want to take revenge for Jian Chun? Today is the birthday of the Qingshang clan. It's not suitable to see blood. Revenge can be done another day. But let me ask you, why are you laughing? Are you unhappy with me?" Lin Xian said, "I'm laughing because you're misleading people. And these people didn't know. If you cultivate according to what you said, even if you're a genius, you'll become trash." When he said that, the crowd was in an uproar. What's going on? Is he refuting Zhang Xiongfei this time? The people of the Wanjian Pavilion also roared. "Nonsense. Lin Wudi, don't go overboard." Zhang Xiongfei also laughed. "I thought that Lin Wudi was some kind of person. It turns out that he's just a clown. You actually said that I'm misleading people. Ask yourself, am I misleading people?" The girl from the Qingshan clan stood out and said, "What do you know? After Big Brother Zhan taught me, my sword skills became more powerful than before." Another young man also jumped out and said, "You don't know how powerful Big Brother Zhan is." Everyone also nodded. Yes, Zhan Xiongfei's strength in the way of the sword is obvious to all. Moreover, with his guidance, the power of the sword skills could be increased instantly. Such a person is misleading people? What a joke. Lin Xian was not angry after hearing that. He looked at the girl and said, "You're still young and don't understand. What nonsense are you talking about? I think you're just jealous of Big Brother Zhan." The girl sneered. That young man also said, "Yes, you're jealous of Big Brother Zhan's talent. You can't beat Big Brother Zhan, so you can only slander him. Our Qingshan clan doesn't welcome you. Hurry up and chase him out." The young girl gave the order. The surrounding people were also in an uproar. The people of the Wanjian Pavilion sneered. "You want to question our senior apprentice brother Zhan? You really don't know the meaning of death." Zhang Xiongfei also said, "Lin Wudi, I admit that you have some strength, but you are too arrogant and don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. You don't have the right to tell me what to do. Cultivate for another 500 years. It's you. You don't have the right." Lin Xian shook his head and looked at the three young men from the Green Mountain clan. "Forget it. I originally wanted to kindly remind you not to go down the wrong path. But since you don't appreciate it, what does it have to do with me?" He shook his head and prepared to leave with Morong Qingqing and Li Hongxiu. The people from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion sneered. They thought that Lin Wudi was just looking for an excuse to leave. However, the girl from the Qingshan clan said, "Stop. What right do you have to say that Big Brother Zhan is leading people astray? Big Brother Zhan has indeed helped me. Hurry up and apologize to Big Brother Zhan." "Yeah, that's right. Apologize, or I'm not letting you go today." The two young men also walked over and said coldly, "Hee kid, did you hear that? Hurry up and apologize to our senior brother Zhan." The people from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion sneered. Zhang Xiongfei's lips curled into a smile. This time, they were not only here to celebrate the birthday, but also to carry out a more important mission. If they could curry favor with the Green Mountain clan and build a relationship with them, they would benefit greatly in the future. Now, it seemed that he had already achieved that step. So what if this Lin Wudi was strong? He had offended the Green Mountain clan. He had no fate with the following fortune. Apologize to him? Lin Xian smiled. He was not worthy. Lin Wudi, watch your words. Don't think that I don't dare to attack you. Zhang Xiongfei was also angry. Lin Xian had provoked him time and time again. Did he really think that he did not dare to attack him? You better kowtow and apologize to me now. Otherwise, I will let you know how powerful I am. How powerful you are. Just based on your trash comments on swordsmanship? Lin Xian did not leave. Instead, he stopped in his tracks. He looked at the girl and said, "You said that Zhang Xiongfei taught you a sword technique, so the power of your sword technique increased, right? Then I say that he is wrong. If I teach you a way to double the power of your sword technique, would you believe me or him?" Double the power of your sword technique? The girl was obviously stunned. That's impossible. She shook her head because she did not dare to imagine it. Kid, keep bragging. The people of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion also snorted. Zhang Xiongfei also smiled. My guidance to her has already optimized her sword technique. If she wants to improve it, she will have to make a breakthrough in her cultivation. That's why I said that you are misleading her. Lin Xian snorted. He looked at the little girl and said, "You are wrong. The weakness of your sword technique is not the speed of your attack, nor is it the problem of your state of mind. It is the most fundamental problem. You are left-handed, so it is obviously a mistake to use your right hand to attack. Now you are using your left hand to perform the sword technique just now. What's going on? Left-handed? Nonsense." The surrounding people did not believe it. The girl was also stunned. She was left-handed. How come she never knew that? No one had told her before. She looked at Zhang Xiongfei. Zhang Xiongfei sneered. It doesn't matter. Didn't he want to compete with me? Then try using your left hand. Don't hold back. I will let him know the difference between us. I believe in Brother Zhang. After the girl heard this, she put the sword in her right hand in her left hand, and looked at Lin Wudi. I want to see how you know that I am left-handed. As she said that, she stabbed the sword in her left hand, and performed the wind swordsmanship. In the next moment, everyone was stunned. They could not catch the girl's sword technique at all. They could not even see the sword light. They could only hear a terrifying crack in the void. After the girl finished performing, she was also stunned. What's going on? Is this the wind swordsmanship? Why does it feel so terrifying? Bus. The people of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion were dumbfounded. Zhang Xiongfei's pupils constricted. Impossible! He screamed. The power was indeed much stronger than before. Could it be that she has broken through? He stared fixedly at the young girl, and discovered that the young girl's cultivation had not broken through at all. This girl is really left-handed. Song Tian, the power has really doubled. The surrounding people screamed. The girl screamed as well. No way, I did it. I really did it. Her two companions were also stunned. The youth walked out and asked, "Then tell me, how did you improve my swordsmanship?" Everyone looked over. Previously, the youth could only create one spatial crack. Under Zhang Xiongfei's guidance, he could create 2 spatial cracks in an instant. That was already very heaven-defying. They wanted to see if Lin Xian could do anything this time. The last time must have been a fluke. A blind cat meeting a dead mouse. Yes, that's right. How can he surpass our senior brother Zhang in terms of swordsmanship? The people of Net Sword Pavilion gritted their teeth. Zhang Xiongfei's face was also extremely gloomy. You practiced the prairie fire swordsmanship, right? Lin Xian asked. Yes, the youth nodded. Can you double the power of the prairie fire swordsmanship? Chapter 4052. Lin Xian shook his head. I can't double your prairie fire sword technique. The young man was stunned. The people from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion also laughed loudly. I told you, this kid was just lucky. Zhang Xiongfei also sneered. He was scared to death. He really thought that the other party was a terrifying genius, but now it seemed that he was just a little lucky. However, Lin Xian said, I can't double your prairie fire sword technique, but I can double your sword technique. The surrounding people were stunned. What's the difference between the two? Zhang Xiongfei also snorted coldly, deliberately mystifying. Lin Xian said, Prairie fire sword technique is a fire elemental sword technique, but you're not suitable for fire elemental sword techniques. You're suitable for earth elemental sword techniques. Therefore, your prairie fire sword technique is the worst choice. You should cultivate an earth elemental sword technique. At this point, Lin Xian waved his hand, and the endless earth condensed in his hand, forming a heavy sword. He threw it to the other party. With a boom, the void trembled. Everyone was shocked. How heavy is this sword? Can this young man withstand it? The young man was also stunned. Is he really suitable for such a wide-open sword technique? Lin Xian said, you can give it a try. The young man waved it a few times, and he felt that his body was about to collapse. However, in an instant, he felt a new wave of power rising in his body. Boom, boom, boom. 1 strike, 2 strikes. Although it was very slow and looked a little clumsy, its power was much stronger than before. The sword chi was released, and 4 cracks appeared in the void. Its power was twice as strong as before. Heavy edgeless heavy sword. This is the most suitable for you. He's already so powerful without cultivating such a wide-open sword technique. If he cultivates it, its power will increase exponentially. Really? The young man was also stunned. He said, this is great. He felt like he was in a dream. The people from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion were dumbfounded. Zhang Xiangfei's expression became extremely ugly. Damn it, the other party actually succeeded again. Now he knew that this couldn't be a coincidence. Was Yi Fuxian's attainments in the way of the sword so terrifying? Even though Zhang Xian had managed to raise the prowess of their swordsmanship with his guidance, that was only on the surface. The gap between the two sides was too obvious. What about me? The last young man asked. The others also looked over. They also wanted to know what Lin Xian would say next. Lin Xian looked at him and said, you're not suited for swordsmanship, you're suited for boxing. Give up on swordsmanship and switch to fist techniques. That's what suits you. Fist techniques? That young man's eyes flickered, although he had many doubts now. However, the first 2 companions had changed. Let him believe unconditionally. Thank you, big brother. I've wronged you. I apologize. That young woman was extremely embarrassed. The 2 youths also said, that's right, big brother. We were confused before and didn't know at all. If it weren't for your reminder, we would have been killed. When Zhang Xiongfei heard this, he almost spat out a mouthful of blood. His entire body was trembling with anger. Damn it, was he harming others? Damn brat. I'm not convinced. I want to compete with you. I definitely won't lose to you in swordsmanship. Zhang Xiongfei finally couldn't hold it in any longer and roared crazily. You forget it. You're not Big Brother's match at all. That's right. You almost destroyed all of us. You still have the face to stand here? It's already very good that we didn't chase you out. I advise you to leave quickly. The young woman and the 2 youths waved their hands impatiently. Damn it. Zhang Xiongfei was furious. The people from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion also had ugly expressions. When had they ever been looked down upon like this? Damn it. It was all because of this brat. It was all because of this Lin Wudi that he was looked down upon. He had to kill him. Zhang Xiongfei stood out and shouted coldly. Do you dare? You're not my match. In terms of swordsmanship, even if you train for another 500 years, you won't be able to beat me. I'm not interested. Lin Xian shook his head. Damn it, you have to fight today even if you don't want to. Having said that, Zhang Xiongfei waved his hand. Countless sword chi flew out from his fingertip. The sword chi carried a vast aura. It was a water sword. His opponent was a water sword saint. Asterisk buzz asterisk not good. Big brother is in danger. Quickly dodge it. The young woman screamed. She was very nervous. The others were also surprised. Although Zhang Xiongfei was slapped in the face, he was still an expert of the previous generation after all. Could Lin Wudi block it? This was a true intermediate minor saint. Lin Xian snorted coldly when he saw the scene. He pointed out a finger. Sword chi spread out from his fingertip. With a poochie sound, the finger landed on the sword chi. Immediately, the monstrous sword chi was destroyed. How could this be? He actually found the weakness in an instant. Zhang Xiongfei couldn't believe it. Damn it, he must be lucky. He waved his sword and changed it again. At this moment, it was still a monstrous wave. However, there was a murderous intent in the sword chi. It was terrifying. This was a double sword chi. There was a peerless murderous intent hidden under the waves. Let's see what you can do this time. The surrounding people were dumbfounded. There was so much sword chi around them that they couldn't block it. They could only dodge it. However, once they moved, they were afraid that the true killing move would be revealed. It could be said that all possibilities were sealed. This was a sure kill move. One had to admit that Zhang Xiongfei was really too powerful. Lin Xian sighed. I've said it before. You're no match for me in terms of swordsmanship. He waved his sword 3 times to the front and left, creating 3 cracks in the sword chi. These 3 swords slashed at the opponent's weak points. Therefore, the power of the sword chi was reduced by half. The remaining sword chi was shattered by Lin Xian's palm. Asterisk pung pung pung. Asterisk how could this be? Zhang Xiongfei took 3 steps back. His face was filled with shock. Had the other party found another flaw in his plan? Damn it. He clenched his fists. Did his opponent really surpass him in terms of swordsmanship? Every strike was aimed at his weakest point. It could break his swordsmanship instantly. He really couldn't believe that a young man could do this. You're not convinced? Then take a sword from me. At this point, Lin Xian also pointed out a finger. A sword chi flew out. It was also the water vision. It rotated in the sky. Block it for me. Zhang Xiongfei roared angrily. It formed a sword light facing the sky and slashed toward the other party. He didn't believe that the other party could hurt him. His strength far surpassed this Lin Wudi. Puff. The void in front of him shattered. Zhang Xiongfei's pupils constricted. He missed? Was this sort of feint? Damn it. He knew that he had fallen into a trap. He hurriedly retreated and withdrew his sword to block around him. The nomological laws that filled the sky enveloped his body tightly. Chapter 4053. Damn it, it's not a fake move. He realized that the move that he had thought was a trap had actually hit his shoulder and sent him flying. Asterisk cough asterisk he kept retreating while vomiting blood. His arm hung down and there was a bloody hole in it. Damn it, he felt that he couldn't hold the sword in his hand anymore. His opponent had actually managed to injure him in an instant. You can't even block my sword. You don't have the right to be arrogant in front of me. Lin Xian shook his head. Damn it, how dare you injure me? I won't let you go. Zhang Xiongfei was completely enraged. Not only was he slapped in the face in front of so many people, but he was also injured. This made him feel humiliated. He couldn't wait to find a hole to hide in. And all of this was because of the person in front of him. He wanted to kill him. You're courting death. Seeing this scene, Lin Xian waved his hand, and the 5 elements sword flew out and shrouded his opponent. The 5 elements law circled around each other, and all kinds of terrifying sword shadows completely repelled his opponent. Asterisk Pucci asterisk Zhang Xiongfei vomited another mouthful of blood. The surrounding people couldn't bear to watch anymore because it was too embarrassing. Senior brother, are you alright? The people of Myriad Swords Pavilion exclaimed. At the same time, in a pavilion far away, a few figures leaned against the window and looked at this scene, shaking their heads slightly. This Zhang Xiongfei is really an idiot. In this room, there were 3 people standing by the window. The aura of these 3 people was very mysterious. There was a mysterious rune between their eyebrows. It made people feel pain in their eyes when they looked at it. They couldn't look at it directly. The one who sneered at this moment was a man by the window. This Lin Wudi isn't simple. Although he's just an early minor saint, his attainment in Sword Dao has far surpassed Zhang Xiongfei. He has even reached an unbelievable level. He's simply a genius in Sword Dao. I'm guessing that his talent in the Sword Dao isn't any weaker than Wan Jiani. It's a pity that he's not in Myriad Swords Pavilion. Otherwise, he would be even more terrifying. The last woman was wearing a green-white robe. She looked down without saying a word. Junior sister, you should say a few words as well. The woman's eyes flashed and she softly said. It was a pity. Even if he wasn't in the 10,000 Swords Pavilion, he wouldn't be able to stop his rise in the path of the sword. I really want to compete with him. My limitless sword art and his sword Dao. Which one of us is stronger? A shocking light flashed in the woman's eyes. Below, Zhang Xiongfei spent a lot of effort to break open the 5 elements sword formation. At this moment, his hair was disheveled and his eyes were bloodshot. They were filled with a terrifying killing intent. Everyone was trembling. Perhaps only Lin Wudi would be able to withstand the wrath of such an expert. Damn brat, you've completely pissed me off. Die for me. Countless sword lights appeared on his body, and it was obvious that he had activated the 10,000 swords returned to origin. His strength was much stronger than before. Not good, retreat quickly. The surrounding people screamed crazily. After activating the 10,000 swords returned to origin, he was clearly going all out. Turning into a stream of light, Zhang Xiongfei charged out. Older brother Xian, be careful. Murong Qingqing and Li Hongxiu brought the girl and the two young men to a faraway place. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. I'll play with you then. However, before he could make a move, a thunderous sound echoed in the void. As soon as the sound was heard, a sword light blocked Zhang Xiongfei's path. Zhang Xiongfei didn't make a move. He turned his head and said, "Let me make a move. I have the confidence to defeat him." Humph, you've disgraced the 10,000 swords pavilion. You still have the face to make a move? In the void, a man walked over. He stepped on the sword chi, and his aura shook the entire place. His appearance caused the entire place to tremble. The weapons in everyone's hands were trembling non-stop. What a terrifying sword Dao. Who is this man? It's Wan Jiani. He's here too. He's a genius on the pilgrim list. Moreover, he's an extremely terrifying existence on the pilgrim list. These people were dumbfounded. Lin Xian was also stunned. His expression turned solemn. Wan Jiani. He felt a great threat. This Wan Jiani has already reached the late stage of the minor saint realm? He's too strong. Zhang Xiongfei and the others couldn't compare to him. Is this the strength of the people on the pilgrim list? Lin Xian took a deep breath. He knew that these people were powerful. These people had suppressed their cultivation base on Heavenly Fate Star. After leaving Heavenly Star, he had only seen Yuquan. Yuquan's strength was also very strong. However, Lin Xian felt that it wasn't impossible to defeat him. He felt that Yuquan's strength should be similar to Yuquan's. However, it didn't seem to be the case now. Wan Jiani's aura was much stronger than Yuquan's. It seemed that the gap between the people on the pilgrim list was huge. That secluded spring was probably ranked last. Wan Jiani could definitely be ranked in the top 3. Step back. Wan Jiani said coldly. Zhang Xiongfei was helpless. However, he didn't dare to go against Wan Jiani. He could only clench his teeth and step aside. Wan Jiani looked at Lin Xian again, and said coldly, "I heard that you talked about Sword Dao in front of us. Who gave you the courage to do so?" Lin Xian laughed. "How arrogant. Are you the only people in the world who can talk about Sword Dao? We'll talk about it today. Come and bite me." The surrounding people were stunned. Zhang Xiongfei couldn't believe it. This guy actually dared to provoke Wan Jiani. He's too reckless. Wan Jiani only needed one move to kill him. If he wanted to kill this kid, he would also need one move. Sure enough, he's still as arrogant as before. However, this is the real world. Without the suppression of the great Dao, do you think you can fight against me? You'll know if you can try. Lin Xian took a step forward. Although Wan Jiani gave him a fatal threat, so what? He wasn't afraid of anyone in a life-and-death battle. Even a saint venerable bowed in front of him, let alone Wan Jiani. The atmosphere between heaven and earth was getting more and more intense. In everyone's eyes, there were only two peerless sword lights confronting each other. The endless void collapsed and a terrifying black hole appeared in the sky. Stop! This scene attracted the attention of the Green Mountain tribe. A terrifying elder quickly walked over. "Both of you, please give us some face. Kid, you're very lucky. We'll spare you this time. However, I advise you to leave quickly. Otherwise, if you see me in the Green Mountain world, you won't be so lucky." Having said that, he turned around and left. The others heaved a sigh of relief. Even the elder from Green Mountain City heaved a sigh of relief. Although Wan Jiani was much younger than him, his sword Dao made his hair stand on end. This Wan Jiani was too incredible. Lin Xian was also surprised. What was the Green Mountain world? Was he going there? Why hadn't he heard of it before? It seemed that so many people from the sacred city didn't come just for the birthday celebration. There must be some unknown secret. Chapter 40-54. As he was thinking, Lin Xian's eyebrows suddenly twitched, and a golden light appeared in his eyes. He turned his head and looked behind him. There was a pavilion in the distance, and he felt an extremely terrifying aura. When he turned his head, he only saw a figure disappear in a flash. However, with his heavenly secret god eyes, he could clearly see it. It was a beautiful woman in a green and white Taoist robe, and there was a strange rune between her eyebrows. He had seen that rune on Chao Tiansheng's forehead before. Was she from the Limitless sect? He could sense a mysterious way of the sword coming from the other party. She was also a terrifying sword saint. Thinking of this, Lin Xian's eyes suddenly emitted two sword lights that pierced into the void. At the same time, the woman from the Limitless sect who wanted to leave was stunned. She felt the sword intent and suddenly turned her head. There was also a flicker in her beautiful eyes. The two sword Dao collided in the void, directly shattering the void. What's going on? Is there another battle? Morong Qingqing and Li Hongxiu came to Lin Xian's side. Lin Xian said, "It's fine, let's go." On the other side, the woman from the Limitless sect's eyes flashed. Interesting. This kid actually discovered our existence. The few people beside him were also very surprised. His sword chi was more piercing than expected. They were looking forward to fighting with him more and more. The three figures gradually disappeared into the void. Lin Xian and the other two also left. Morong Qingqing said, "I'm afraid more and more experts will come, and there will be many sacred venerables this time. If the sacred venerables of the Golden Crow clan and the Myriad Sword Pavilion appear, I'm afraid we'll be in danger." Lin Xian also frowned. That was true. He said that they probably won't attack openly, so we're still safe on the surface. I'm afraid that they'll attack behind their backs. Moreover, it seems that another Green Mountain world has appeared today. I wonder what it's like. Do you know? He looked at Li Hongxiu. Li Hongxiu said that she knew a bit, but she had heard that the Green Mountain race had some secrets and trump cards. There seemed to be an ancestral land called the Green Mountain World. Every once in a while he would open it. It was probably time for him to open it this time, which was why so many people were attracted. Needless to say, this Green Mountain World must have something to do with that Saint King. They could only take it one step at a time. Lin Xian took a deep breath, and the three of them prepared to return to the main hall. But at this moment, they suddenly felt a terrifying aura pressing down on them. Morong Qingqing and Li Hongxiu's expressions changed. Even Lin Xian abruptly turned his head. A cold light burst out from his eyes. Two figures appeared on their left. Both of them had scales on their bodies, and terrifying dragon blood was surging from them. What a powerful bloodline aura. Morong Qingqing frowned. Li Hongxiu also said, "Dragons?" These two men stared at Lin Xian and the other two. "You must be that Lin Wudi. Who are you? People from the Thousand Demon City?" Lin Xian asked in a deep voice. "Us. Can't you feel it? We are dragons." These two people's eyes were filled with endless arrogance. Dragons were the king of all beasts. They were incomparably powerful, and they had the capital to look down on everything. It was not the first time that Lin Xian had seen dragons. He had killed many dragons before. But this time, he could clearly feel that the dragon blood in these two people was unusually strong. Obviously, they were not ordinary dragons, but extremely powerful dragons. He did not know why they were looking for him. The two of them laughed. "Don't be nervous. We won't do anything to you yet. We just want to see who is so arrogant to call himself invincible. Even our crown prince does not dare to use your title. Quickly change this title, or you will die miserably." Crown Prince? Li Hongxiu frowned. The Crown Prince of Dragons? Why hadn't she heard of it before? However, Lin Xian's pupil shrank. He remembered the existence in the nest of 10,000 dragons in the true spirit world. Were these people under the other party's command? Dragons existed in all realms, but the one in the nest of 10,000 dragons was obviously stronger. And at that time, it was rumored that there was a dragon crown prince, the son of the dragon emperor, with a heaven-defying bloodline. He was a saint at birth, and now he did not know what realm he had reached, but it was definitely incomparably terrifying. Was the other party about to appear? Lin Xian furrowed his brows tightly. If they appeared, they would be the most powerful enemy. Humph. Morong Qingqing, who was beside him, snorted coldly. She activated the phoenix bloodline in her body, and a phoenix phantom pounced forward. You dare to transform into a phoenix with just you? The people of the dragons sneered disdainfully. One of them reached out with his dragon claw, but after contact, his expression changed. He retracted his arm with a shocked expression. You are from the Phoenix clan. Previously, he was disdainful, but when he felt the other party's bloodline, he was really too surprised. This bloodline actually made him tremble a little. Well, now is not the time to make a move. Another powerhouse of the dragons said with a frown. The young man retracted his palm. Well, I'll let you live a little longer. But from now on, I will be your nightmare. Remember my name is Long Xiaotian. The two figures slowly disappeared into the void. The dragon clan, huh? Looks like a battle is unavoidable. In that case, Lin Xian was not afraid. Although he did not have a super strong bloodline, he had a dragon soul. It was fine if these people of the dragons did not provoke him, but if they did, he would not be soft-hearted. Seeing Lin Xian's serious state, Morong Qingqing and Li Hongxiu knew that someone was going to be unlucky. In the main hall of Huihong, 9 Saint Venerables were sitting there. The patriarch of the Green Mountain clan, and some core elders had also come. At this moment, the door was closed, and the two sides were having a private discussion. One of the Saint Venerables of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion said, "Don't worry, we will not let you down this time when we enter the Green Mountain world. We will give you the conditions that we promised you before." In that case, this old man thanks everyone. The patriarch of the Green Mountain clan said in a deep voice. The other elders also took a deep breath. It was obvious that the two sides had reached some kind of agreement. These holy cities would give the Green Mountain clan some benefits. The Green Mountain clan would open the Green Mountain stairs to allow other powerhouses of the holy cities to enter. Others can go in, but Lin Wudi can't. Lin Wudi can't go in. Yes, that's right. A Saint Venerate of the Thunder God City also said in a deep voice. He is not qualified to enter either. A Saint Venerate of the Demon City also spoke. The 3 Saint Venerables objected. The atmosphere was a little heavy. The people of the Green Mountain clan were in an uproar. The patriarch of the Green Mountain clan said, "I'm afraid that's not very good. This way, it will seem that the Green Mountain clan is targeting Wushuang City. It's fine, with us supporting you. What are you afraid of?" The 3 Saint Venerables sneered. Chapter 40-55. Next, these people discussed some specific matters. One day later, the birthday banquet began. The entire Green Mountain City was bustling. Countless elders and experts from the second astral realm gathered in the city. Their seats were arranged in an orderly manner according to their status and strength. However, the most dazzling palace at the top was still the most dazzling. Countless people looked up at it. There were only a few people there. Other than the leader of the Green Mountain clan, and a few core elders, the rest were Saint Venerables. Only Saint Venerables could enter that palace. The others were not qualified at all. Even Wan Jiani and the others could only sit in the second palace below. Lin Xian and the other 2 also arrived. Looking at the lively scene, they were very emotional. "Kid, where are you sitting?" Li Hongxiu asked. "Why don't you come with me to the second palace?" As the daughter of the Saint King, she could also sit in the second palace. "Qingcheng, you accompany Hongxiu. I have other places to go," Lin Xian said with a smile. The 3 of them walked forward. They crossed countless pavilions and palaces, and attracted a lot of attention. "Look, that's Lin Wudi. He's walking forward. Is he going to enter the second palace? Did he already have the qualifications to enter that place?" Many people were shocked. The people sitting in the second palace were those on the pilgrimage list. Other than that, there were some people with very special identities. For example, Li Hongxiu, the daughter of the Saint King, or Bai Shanchuan, the grandson of a Saint Venerable. In short, their status was very high. Other than that, other chief disciples or some powerful small saints were not qualified. They could only sit in the 3rd and 4th palaces. It seemed that Lin Xian wanted to sit in the second palace. Is he qualified to be on the pilgrimage list? In the second palace, these people looked down at Lin Xian, and the other 2 and sneered. "Lin Wudi wants to come in? Are you kidding me? Don't worry, I won't let him in because he is not qualified." Yu Quan's lips curled into a cold smile. The other people also sneered. Soon, Lin Xian and the other two came to the front of the second palace. All right, Qingqing Hongxiu, you two can go in. Morong Qingqing nodded. Li Hongxiu said, if you're really not coming, then where are you going? The third palace? Before Lin Xian could say anything, a few figures walked out from the second palace, led by Yu Quan. Brat, you want to enter the second hall? Do you have the qualifications? Ants don't have the qualifications to be with us. Emoshio was the same. Today they would definitely not let Lin Xian in. When Li Hongxiu saw this, she frowned. Don't go overboard. But he is my friend. Li Hongxiu, although you are the daughter of the Sage King, you still have to follow the rules. If one wanted to enter the second hall, they either had to have a noble status or extremely strong strength. Which one did this brat have? What if I insist on bringing him in? Li Hongxia's face darkened. In that case, don't blame us for being impolite. Emoshio also stood out. The auras of the two of them were extremely powerful. Don't worry, we won't hurt you, but don't even think about breaking the rules in our hands. Damn it. Li Hongxia's face was cold. She did not expect these two fellows to be so daring and bold. They didn't even give her face. Murong Qingqing, who was next to her, also had a cold expression. Lin Xian said, all right, you two go in. I have my own place to go. Qingqing, let's go. Li Hongxiu pulled Murong Qingqing and walked forward. Aren't you going to dodge? Do you want to be my enemy? Li Hongxiu shouted coldly. Yu Quan sneered. Of course, these two fairies could come in. As they said that, the two of them stepped aside to make a path. Li Hongxiu and Murong Qingqing walked in, but their bodies were immediately blocked. They looked down at Lin Xian condescendingly. As for you, don't even think about coming in this lifetime. Lin Xian smiled. You are right about something. Ants don't deserve to be with me. As he said that, he ignored Yu Quan and Emoshio, turned around and walked further away. That direction was the direction of the first palace. The matter here attracted the attention of countless people. Lin Wuti was blocked outside the door? How embarrassing. That's right. If Second Highness you couldn't enter, his reputation would be completely ruined. It wasn't easy to build up a reputation, but it was only a matter of time before he fell. Everyone shook their heads, thinking that Lin Xian was too arrogant this time. It was too early to enter the second palace now. Some of the chief disciples of the sacred city, and some experts also snorted coldly. Lin Wuti wasn't qualified to enter. Sure enough, they saw the two beauties beside Lin Xian enter, but Lin Wuti was blocked outside. They gloated. However, in the next moment they were stunned. They found that Lin Wuti didn't have any intention of entering at all, but instead walked towards the first palace. Is this kid courting death? He can't even enter the second palace, and he wants to go to the first palace? He must be pretending. Don't worry, he will definitely be beaten out in an instant. If he offends those saint sovereigns, even if he doesn't die, he will be half crippled. These people shook their heads. Yu Quan and Emoshio were also stunned. What's going on? Is this kid really going to the first palace? What a joke. They weren't qualified to enter. Previously, the matter of Wushuang's order was sealed by Saint Sovereign White, so only a small number of people knew about it. The others didn't know about it. Therefore, when they saw Lin Xian's action at this moment, they thought that Lin Xian was too daring and didn't know what death was. Two guards appeared at the entrance of the first palace instantly. Both of them were late minor saints. They said coldly, "Stop, who are you? This is not a place where you can come. Get lost." Their voice was incomparably cold, causing the smile on everyone's face to become thicker. See, I've said it before. How can Lin Wuti enter? He doesn't know the immensity of heaven and earth. Lin Xian was expressionless. He took out the Wushuang token. I'm here on behalf of the Wushuang Saint King. The two late minor saints sucked in a breath of cold air when they saw him. They could feel a trace of the Saint King's aura from the token. In an instant, both of them retreated. Young master, please. Please forgive us for offending you earlier. Both of them respectfully invited Lin Xian in. The people around him had all gone crazy. How is this possible? He entered the first palace. Oh God, am I dreaming? How can he enter? Even Wan Jiani Yuquan and the others can't enter. Sure enough, Yuquan and Emotio were also stunned. They originally wanted to watch a good show, but now they were dumbfounded. Their minds were blank. How is this possible? How did he do it? The second palace was also in an uproar. This guy really did it. The incomparably seductive Qin Xianer opened her cherry lips wide. Chapter 4056. Wan Jiani also frowned as his eyes were filled with a trace of coldness. Even Chao Tianqing and Gu Feng were stunned. They did not expect Lin Fan to be able to enter. Bai Shanchuan thought of something and shivered. He hid in the shadows and did not say a word. Li Hongxiu was also shocked. Wow, this kid is too handsome. Only Murong Qingchen had a beautiful smile on her face. Now these people knew who was the idiot. They wanted to stop Lin Xian? In the end, they were the ones who were slapped in the face. Lin Xian walked into the first palace under the shocked gazes of countless people. After entering, he attracted a few gazes. These were the gazes of sacred venerables, and they were extremely powerful. Lin Xian snorted. The great dragon sword soul in his body circulated and blocked the pressure. In the next moment, he walked forward and said loudly, "Greetings, senior clan leader. I'm Lin Xian, representing the unparalleled Sacred King to wish you a happy birthday. The Sacred King is busy, so he sent me here." Lin Xian flipped his hand and a treasure box appeared in his hand. Since he was here to wish him a happy birthday, how could he not bring a gift? This gift was given by the unparalleled Sacred King himself, so it should not be bad. So it's young Master Lin. I've heard of your name. Now that I've met you, you're indeed a young hero. The clan leader of Qingshan said with a smile. Although Lin Xian was just a junior in front of him, he was representing the Sacred King after all. His identity was not to be underestimated. An elder beside the clan leader took the treasure box and said, "Young Master Lin, this way please." Lin Xian followed him to an empty space and sat down. Some of the other sacred venerables looked unfriendly, and some snorted coldly. To be honest, having them sit together with such a young brat really made them unhappy. He was not qualified at all. The birthday banquet began. A loud voice sounded. Then the banquet began, and the scene became lively again. A series of greetings could be heard as gifts and precious treasures were delivered to Qin Nan. The several saint sovereigns in the main hall were also talking about some cultivation problems and some important matters in the future. This had nothing to do with Lin Xian. As for cultivation, he was not a holy venerate yet, so he could not understand at all. As for the major events of the world, they had little to do with him, because they had already risen to the level of the holy city. Therefore, he couldn't get a word in at all inside the main hall. If it were anyone else, they would have been scared out of their wits. However, Lin Xian didn't care at all. So what if he was a saint venerable? He was going to become a great emperor in the future, so he didn't feel inferior at all. Instead, he drank alone. His expression was calm and composed. This scene made the sacred venerates of the Thunder God City and the myriad demon city even more displeased. Saint Master White's face darkened as well. Of course, there were also some people who were shocked. This young man was really not simple. Before the auras of these holy venerates, the other party remained calm and composed. Just this mentality alone was not something that just anyone could achieve. No wonder the other party was able to create such a reputation. There was indeed something unique about him. Even Qingshan Saint King nodded slightly. He was thinking, are we really going to keep such a genius out of the Qingshan world? At this moment, a sacred venerate of the Thunder God City spoke. "Nephew Lin, after the banquet, you can return to Wushuang City to report on the completion of the mission. At that time, we can use the spatial teleportation array to send you away." The sacred venerate of the myriad demon city also spoke up. Lin Xian was stunned. The other party was so kind? It shouldn't be. Was there a trap? To teleport to another place? Lin Xian said, "Seniors, you are too polite. I don't need you to worry about my own matters." Lin Xian changed the topic and asked, "Senior clan leader, I heard people say something about the Qingshan world. I don't know what it means." The Qingshan clan leader frowned. The other sacred venerates' faces also darkened. Among them, the voice of the myriad sword pavilion said, Young Master Lin, you don't have to think about the Qingshan world. Yes, this time, your Wushuang city did not participate. Why don't you wait for the next time? The sacred venerate of the Thunder God City also raised a smile. After hearing this, Lin Xian frowned. It seemed that the Qingshan world was a secret realm, and it was related to the Sage King. However, these people wanted to leave him outside. What a joke. These seniors were thinking quite far ahead. However, this was not the holy city, but the Qingshan clan. Whether my Wushuang city can enter or not is not up to you seniors. After saying this, he looked at the Qingshan clan leader. The sacred venerates were so angry that they gritted their teeth. Normally, if such an ant dared to provoke them, they would have slapped him into meat paste. However, now they could only watch helplessly. The other party was jumping in front of them. They were really unhappy. However, they did not have the final say. So what? They had already discussed this with the Qingshan clan leader. Qingshan clan leader, what do you think? The sacred venerate of the Thunder God City asked. I think the Qingshan clan leader should have the same opinion as us. The sacred venerate of the Myriad Sword Pavilion also said. This, the Qingshan clan leader hesitated. When Lin Xian saw this scene, his face became even gloomier. It seemed that these people had already reached some agreement. Were they really going to exclude him? They really deserved to die. One day, when he became a sacred venerate, he would make these old fellows crawl at his feet. The Qingshan clan leader took a deep breath, as if he had made a decision. Just as he was about to speak, a stream of light streaked over from afar. Old ancestor, this is bad. The young master's illness has acted up again. What? The Qingshan clan leader suddenly stood up. What's going on? Why did it act up in advance? Let's go and take a look. He didn't care about the others and rushed out directly. What was going on? The other holy venerates were also stunned. The Qingshan clan's first elder said, Fellow Taoists, please calm down. Something happened in my clan. As he spoke, he briefly explained the matter. The sacred venerates and heavenly queens all frowned. There was actually such a thing. Lin Xian was also surprised after hearing it. It turned out that it was a direct descendant of the Qingshan clan's first elder. He was only 8 or 9 years old, and had contracted a disease. It would act up once every 3 months and could not be cured at all. Even the sacred venerates were helpless. This gave the people of the Qingshan clan a headache. If it was an ordinary clan member, it would be fine. After all, there were many people in the Qingshan clan. It was fine if the youth was sick. However, this youth was a direct descendant, and had the bloodline of the Qingshan sacred king. There was even a phenomenon of atavism. This surprised the people of the Qingshan clan. If he grew up, he might become the second Qingshan sacred king in the future. So, how could they not be worried? No wonder the Qingshan clan leader was so anxious. The sacred venerates were also discussing. At this moment, Lin Xian's eyes lit up. He felt that this was an opportunity. From the looks of it, the Qingshan clan leader and these sacred venerates had reached an agreement. It was very likely that they would not let him enter the Qingshan world. Chapter 4057. It was not easy for him to reach his current cultivation level. It was very difficult for him to improve every time. Moreover, with his current strength, his divine body and dragon sword soul required a huge amount of energy. If he wanted to take another step forward, he would have to cultivate normally for hundreds of years. He could not wait that long. Therefore, he would not miss any opportunity. This was obviously a great opportunity in the Green Mountain world. How could he miss it? Therefore, Lin Xian stood up and said, I don't know what illness the young master is suffering from. Can I take a look? Maybe I have a way. You? The people in the hall were stunned. The Green Mountain Race's chief said, Young Master Lin, are you sure? However, the few holy venerates guffawed as if they had heard the best joke. Kid, you don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. Do you think you can be compared to us just because you are sitting with us? We are just giving face to the unparalleled Saint King. Otherwise, do you think you are qualified to stand in front of us? At such a young age, you are actually so arrogant. You are really arrogant. The Saint Venerable snorted coldly. You don't even know what illness the young master is suffering from. Do you know that several Saint Venerables have investigated him over the years? There are even alchemy experts. However, without exception, they could not cure him. With just you? They had disdainful expressions. The Green Mountain's chief elder also sighed. Indeed, he did not think that Lin Xian could do it. Lin Xian did not care. He said indifferently, "You can't do it, but it doesn't mean that I can't. This world may be yours now, but it will be ours in the future. Some people are old, but we are rising. Some people are short-sighted, and are destined to be trapped in the same place for the rest of their lives. Are you courting death? How dare you teach us a lesson?" The Thunder God City's Saint Venerables stood up. The Demon City's Saint Venerables also had a gloomy expression. The other Saint Venerables also frowned. Even those who didn't say anything earlier had cold expressions on their faces. Because of these words, the other party had completely angered them. What did he mean by saying that they were old and could not do it? And that they would be trapped in the same place for the rest of their lives? What a joke! At their level, what they were most unwilling to do was to stay where they were. Although it might be the truth, they didn't allow others to say it. Now Lin Xian had mercilessly torn open this scar, making it unbearable for them. "Kid, it seems like I have to teach you a lesson on behalf of Wuxia City. Have you ever heard of the saying that dead geniuses are nothing?" A terrifying aura pressed down on Lin Xian. The holy venerates did not even need to make a move. One look was enough to kill them. Lin Xian also felt the aura, and his body tensed up. He snorted coldly. The great dragon sword spirit roared for 9 days while he stood there with his hands clasped behind his back. "What's wrong? Did I poke your sore spot? Are you unable to look directly at yourself? Then you seem to be doubting your own Tao. If you can't even persist in your own great Tao, what right do you have to go further? My Tao is something you can't imagine." Lin Xian exuded a heroic spirit. It was as if all the stars in the universe had to kneel before him. This was a kind of boldness that was unintentionally moving forward, a boldness that was like a thunderbolt in all directions. At this moment, those holy venerates were shocked. This young man actually had such a grand ambition. But soon, he became angry out of humiliation. Damn it! They even had the intention to kill him. Lin Xian was not afraid at all. The previous holy venerable Bai was an example. Now that he had the Wuxia token in his hand, he was not afraid of these people at all. If these people dared to touch him, the Wuxia Sage King would definitely not let them off. More importantly, he had the Great Sage Pagoda. If he could not defeat them, he could hide in the Great Sage Pagoda. These people could not do anything to him. Therefore Lin Xian was not afraid. He looked at the Great Elder and said, "Since many holy venerates can't cure me, why not let me try? Anyway, you have nothing to lose." The Great Elder thought about it, and felt that what he said was right. There was nothing to lose if he tried. Who knows, he might even be able to get lucky. He said, "Young Master Lin, this way please." "Nonsense, I want to see what qualifications you have." The Holy Venerate of Thunder God City stood up. The other Holy Venerates also stood up one after another. They were also very curious. Where did Lin Xian get his confidence from? They tore open the void and directly left the first palace. So much so that the people outside did not know at all. And they had already arrived in the depths of Qingshan City. At this moment, they were gathered in the palace. These people were all core elders. The Qingshan clan leader was also there, his face full of worry. A middle-aged couple, on the other hand, looked anxious. "Old ancestor, will Huier be okay?" Yes, this time the outbreak was actually brought forward. The middle-aged woman was very anxious. Her face was full of tears. The middle-aged man also had a worried look on his face. The Qingshan clan leader's face was pale. He looked at the person in front of him. That was the medical expert in the clan. There was even an alchemy grandmaster and other experts. Those people shook their heads. It seemed that they were helpless. At this moment, the void broke open, and the Great Elder, Lin Xian, and the others came. Those holy venerates also came. A terrifying holy aura swept through the world. The expressions of the people in the palace changed. The Qingshan clan leader also turned his head and his expression changed. "Fellow Taoists, why are you here?" The Great Elder took a few steps forward and whispered. The Qingshan clan leader shouted coldly. Nonsense. Lin Xian has a way. What a joke. To be honest, so many holy venerates could not do it. How could a young man do it? Qingshan clan leader, we don't believe it either, but someone is extremely arrogant and thinks that he can solve it. So we followed to take a look and broaden our horizons. Young Master Lin, I won't trouble you with the family matters. Please go back. I hope you can forgive me for not being a good host. After saying that, he wanted to ask these people to go back. Lin Xian said, Old clan leader, why don't you give it a try? There's no harm in it anyway. Could it be that the situation could be worse than it was now? Old ancestor, does he have a way? The middle-aged woman walked forward. Lin Xian said, I'm not sure now because I haven't seen the young master. However, I should still have some confidence. You haven't even seen it before and you dare to say that you're confident? Wasn't this purely a lie? The saint snorted coldly. The middle-aged man also frowned. However, the middle-aged woman did not care about anything. She said that it was easy to handle and that she should quickly go and take a look. Don't mess around. The old ancestor is still here. The middle-aged man said. The middle-aged woman cried. Ancestor, I beg you. The chief of the Green Mountain tribe sighed. Forget it. It was just a glance anyway. It was not a big deal. And he said all right. Lin Xian went in to take a look. There was a youth lying there. His face was pale, and his brows were tightly furrowed. Even his small face was somewhat distorted. His body was trembling non-stop. However, he didn't see anything strange at all. His bloodline was normal, his constitution was normal, and even his soul was normal. However, the other party was in unbearable pain. Thank you user Rong for the reward. User 139 ***** 6003 tipped. User 1 Zai tipped. Thank you for your recommendation tickets, monthly tickets, subscriptions, collections and gifts. Chapter 4058. The Green Mountain Patriarch said. He had already asked many Saint Venerables to take a look, but they couldn't find anything. He wondered what nephew Lin had found out. The Saint Kings behind him also sneered. They were also investigating at this moment, but they couldn't find anything. It was indeed a strange disease. Lin Xian snorted coldly and didn't say anything. He activated his heavenly secret divine eyes to the extreme and saw through everything. Suddenly, Lin Xian's pupils constricted. He found that his normal bloodline had changed under the full operation of the heavenly secret divine eyes. He saw some black runes appear. These black runes carried a strange aura, which Lin Xian had never felt before. What was this? He was too surprised. He found that it was these black runes that caused the young man in front of him to be in so much pain. It was so strange. He could only see it because he had the heavenly secret divine eyes. If it was someone else, they wouldn't be able to detect it no matter how high their cultivation was. No wonder several Saint Venerables couldn't see it. It was impossible without a powerful eye technique. But even if he saw it, Lin Xian didn't know what it was. However, it didn't matter if he didn't know. He didn't need to know. He just needed to destroy these black runes. Others might not be able to do it because those Saint Venerables couldn't see the black runes, but he could. Moreover, he had the Great Dragon Sword Soul, which could destroy everything, including nothingness. He was also confident that he could destroy these black runes. Therefore, Lin Xian retracted his gaze and stood up. You can't find it, right? Kid, who do you think you are? Are you really the chosen one? Behind him, the Saint Venerables of the Thunder God City sneered. The Saint Venerables of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion also shook their heads in disdain. The people of the Green Mountain clan sighed. They had long known that this would be the result. The middle-aged woman cried until she almost fainted. However, Lin Xian smiled and said, I found it. There is indeed some strange power in his body. What? Everyone was stunned. Did the other party see it? How was that possible? They, the Saint Venerables, couldn't see it. What nonsense! The Saint Venerables of the Thunder God City roared. Kid, don't be presumptuous. You're the impudent one. Lin Xian coldly snorted. Old thing, I've tolerated you for a long time. Are you trying to take advantage of your seniority? It's useless in front of me. What did you say? The eyes of the Thunder God City's holy venerate instantly turned red. Do you think I don't dare to kill you? The killing intent on his body instantly rushed into the main hall. The 10,000 Swords Pavilion's holy venerate also shouted coldly. This is too much. Even if I have the Holy King's badge today, I will still teach you a lesson. Sure enough, you're taking advantage of your seniority. You can touch me, but you have to think about the consequences. Since the peerless Saint King dared to send me here, it means that my relationship with him is not ordinary. If you touch me, you will be touching the peerless Saint King. Think about the consequences of offending a sage king. You dare to threaten me? The two Saint Venerables roared. Lin Xian sneered. So what if I threaten you? After saying that, he looked at the Elder of Green Bamboo again. I have already checked his condition. I have a way to cure him. Hearing that, the people of the Green Mountain clan were all stunned. The middle-aged couple also jumped up abruptly. Is that true? They grabbed Lin Xian's hand tightly. The Green Mountain clan's patriarch also trembled. Young Master Lin, do you really have a way? Of course, Lin Xian said. What nonsense. Today, I will kill you, you ignorant fool. A terrifying aura of thunder appeared on the Thunder God City's holy venerate. Lin Xian sneered. I do have a way, but if I die, there will not be a second person in the entire Starry Sky universe who can save him. Hearing that, the Green Mountain clan's patriarch waved his hand, and a huge mountain blocked Thunder's palm. Please don't go overboard. This is the territory of the Green Mountain clan. Green Mountain clan's patriarch. Do you really want to believe this kid? The Thunder God City's holy venerate had gone crazy. He did not expect that Lin Xian would actually attack him. The other Saint Venerables were also speechless. This matter concerns the fate of the Green Mountain clan. I have to be careful, the Green Mountain clan's patriarch said in a deep voice. Young Master Lin, when can you make a move? Do you need us to prepare anything? Natural treasures, all sorts of medicinal pills, formations, just name them. My Green Mountain clan will definitely be able to do it. Lin Xian said, alright, I have a way. However, I have a few conditions. Tell us, and we will definitely be able to do it. The Green Mountain clan's holy venerables quickly nodded. Lin Xian said, I want absolute safety in Green Mountain City. No one can threaten my life. After saying that, he glanced at the Thunder God City's holy venerables and the other Saint Venerables. Don't worry. My Green Mountain clan will definitely protect Young Master. Whoever dares to touch Young Master will be my Green Mountain clan's enemy. The moment Lin Xian said that, the expressions of the Thunder God City's holy venerables and the other Saint Venerables turned extremely unsightly. Damn it. Isn't this targeting us? To think that we are being targeted by a youth. Damn it. Very good. Lin Xian smiled. He said, second, I want to enter the Green Mountain realm. No problem. The Green Mountain clan's patriarch nodded. This was not a big deal in the first place. Damn it. The expressions of the Thunder God City's holy venerables turned even more unsightly. Unexpectedly, not only were they unable to make a move, but their plan to attack the other party was also ruined. Damn it. They felt like they had been slapped in the face. Brat, you speak so confidently. However, what if you can't treat him? The Thunder God Holy Venerables said. If I can't treat him, the Green Mountain clan's patriarch will deal with me. Alright, since you said it, we will wait and see. The Holy Venerables snorted coldly. They did not believe that the other party could do it. In their opinion, the other party would definitely fail. As long as the other party failed, they would not let him make a comeback. An ant could not jump around in front of them. Alright, I'm done. I'm going to treat Young Master now. You can all leave. The Green Mountain clan's people retreated, but the Holy Venerables did not. Lin Xian frowned. What's wrong? You are not leaving? Do you need to be so sneaky when treating an illness? Is there anything shameful about it? That's right. What if you hurt Young Master? I am not as despicable as you. Furthermore, you are just leaving the hall. Are you afraid that I will do something? If someone is here, I will refuse to treat him. Please, the Green Mountain clan's patriarch will come personally. Good. Let's see how far you can pretend. The Holy Venerables waved their sleeves and came out of the hall. Not only do you have to go out, but no one is allowed to use their souls to check the situation inside. Once I discover it, I will immediately stop the treatment. I will not bear the consequences. Young master, rest assured. I can guarantee this. The Green Mountain Clan's patriarch nodded. With him here personally, he did not believe that anyone would dare to be impudent. The holy venerables gritted their teeth. Damn it. To be honest, they were also very curious. They wanted to know where the other party got his trump card from. They originally wanted to check. However, it looked like there was no hope now. Lin Xian waved his hand and closed the hall's door. Then he set up a formation. As long as a soul touched it slightly, he would instantly know. Chapter 40-59. Activating his heavenly secret god eyes to the extreme, he once again saw those black runes. Like tadpoles, they swam around the youth's body. What was that? Lin Xian unleashed his laws and poured them into the youth's body, rushing toward the black runes. In an instant, his laws turned into a large net, directly enveloping the black runes. Naturally, the black runes wanted to resist. In the next moment, Lin Xian was shocked. He seemed to have entered an illusion. He saw a strange scene. It was a deep ancient temple, and there was a ghost king statue that was abnormally ferocious. In front of the ghost king statue, there was a figure kneeling. His entire body was emitting a mysterious aura. Lin Xian couldn't see what he looked like, but he could clearly see that his hands were forming seals. One by one, the black runes were jumping. Moreover, there were 2 strings of pearls on his wrists. Those pearls were pitch black, and Lin Xian couldn't tell what they were made of. Each bead had a ferocious ghost head painted on it. The scene was extremely strange. Those black runes were the same as the runes in the youth's body. Buzz. Lin Xian's body trembled. He suddenly felt that the ferocious ghost king statue's eyes were shining, and it turned its head to look at him. In the next moment, the illusion in front of Lin Xian's eyes disappeared and shattered. Cold sweat trickled down Lin Xian's back. He felt that a strange force was appearing in his body, and it was trying to devour him. Damn it, destroy it. The great dragon sword soul roared and destroyed the black runes. Not only that, the black runes in the youth's body were also destroyed. After the first rune, the rest of the black runes all jumped violently, as if they were about to explode together. Lin Xian snorted coldly. The great dragon sword soul completely rushed into the youth's body, and slashed in all directions. Although these black runes were strange and carried a terrifying force, they were no match for the great dragon sword soul. However, he was no match for the great dragon sword soul. After a round, the great dragon sword soul returned to Lin Xian's body. At this moment, the black runes in the youth's body were completely destroyed. Lin Xian was still worried, so he used his Tianji God eyes to check 3 more times. When he confirmed that he did not miss anything, he heaved a sigh of relief. Was that power a curse? He wiped his sweat. It felt very similar to the legendary power of curses. However, this power was even more mysterious than the power of space. He didn't expect that it would appear here, and on this young man's body. As for the reason, it was probably a secret of the Green Mountain Clan. There was no need for him to investigate. He stood up and let out a sigh of relief. Outside the main hall, the people of the Green Mountain Clan were waiting anxiously. Do you think that brat can do it? Many people whispered to each other. The Thunder God's holy venerate sneered. What kind of joke was this? Did they really place their hopes on this ant? I suspect that not only will he not be able to cure the young master, he might even worsen the young master's illness. The 10,000 Fiend City's holy venerate also snorted coldly. Ancestor, what should we do? Many people looked at the chief of Green Mountain. The chief of the Green Mountain sect looked at the time and said while gritting his teeth, "Wait a little longer." They would wait for the period it took an incense stick to burn. If there was still no movement after the period it took an incense stick to burn, if nothing happened, he would go in and investigate personally. As soon as he said that, the main hall in front suddenly opened, and Lin Xian walked out. Is he out? Everyone turned their attention to the front. He came out so quickly. It was obvious that he failed. The Thunder God City's holy venerate sneered. The other holy venerates also shook their heads. The people of the Green Mountain Clan were too stupid. They actually placed their hopes on such a young man. The people of the Green Mountain clan surrounded him and asked, "Young master, how is it?" "Yes, young master, can you tell what illness it is? Is there a way to cure it? If not, we can send holy venerates to help you." Lin Xian waved his hand and asked these people to be quiet. He said, "There is no need to go through so much trouble. I have cured your young master's illness." "What? Cured?" Everyone was stunned, especially the few holy venerates who were watching the show. They were stunned on the spot. "How is that possible?" The Thunder God Holy Venerate instantly jumped out. "Brat, there should be a limit to your nonsense. How can you cure an illness that even a holy venerate can't cure in such a short time?" Lin Xian sneered. "You are trash, but don't treat everyone as trash. I can do what you can't do. How dare you call me trash?" The holy venerate was completely furious. No one had ever dared to provoke him like this. Lin Xian said, "Try attacking me. I have cured your young master's illness. I am protected by the Green Mountain clan." The Thunder God Holy Venerate calmed down. The Green Mountain clan's clan leader comforted the Holy Venerate as he rushed inside impatiently. The others also rushed into the main hall. "I want to see what you mean by cured." The Thunder God City's Holy Venerate was not convinced. The other Holy Venerates were also shocked. They had to see it with their own eyes. Everyone rushed inside. They saw a young man lying there, sleeping peacefully. His pained little face also eased up. The pain was really gone. The middle-aged couple cried tears of joy. The people of Green Mountain Clan were also in an uproar. The Green Mountain Clan's clan leader heaved a sigh of relief. "Thank you for saving my life, young Master Lin. I am eternally grateful." He was a holy venerate, the clan leader of a clan. However, at this moment, he was bowing respectfully to Lin Xian. Behind him, the holy venerates were even more stunned. "No way, he really cured my young master? Could it be a coincidence?" These people gritted their teeth. They guessed that the illness must have flared up, so the illness was cured. It was definitely not cured by this brat. However, no matter what they said, the people of Green Mountain Clan were still grateful to Lin Xian. The Green Mountain Clan's clan leader asked, "Young Master Lin, do you know what illness this is?" "Yes, we have invited many people, but they can't tell, let alone cure it." The Green Mountain Clan's clan leader also sighed. Lin Xian frowned slightly. "Should I tell them about the curse?" He didn't say it directly. Instead he asked, "Did you offend anyone? Or rather, did this young master offend anyone before?" "Offend anyone?" The people of Green Mountain Clan shook their heads. It shouldn't be. Their Green Mountain Clan was very low-key. They usually stayed in Green Mountain City and didn't go out. Who could they offend? Even if they offended someone, they weren't afraid. Even if they offended a holy venerate, they wouldn't be afraid. Unless it was a Saint King. However, a Saint King probably wouldn't do anything to them. So the Green Mountain Clan's clan leader shook his head. "I don't know what illness he has. I only know that there is a black rune in his body that is very strange. I destroyed the black rune, so his illness should be cured." Black rune? These people were greatly surprised. Chapter 4060. How did young Master Lin find out about it? A Saint Venerable asked. The others were also confused. Lin Xian said, "Well, I have my own way. Everyone has their secrets, right?" The Saint Venerable snorted. He didn't expect Lin Xian to keep him in suspense. The others also looked gloomy. It was really embarrassing this time. Previously, they swore that Lin Xian would never succeed. However, Lin Xian cured the young master's injuries so easily. Wasn't that a slap to their faces? And it was very painful. Therefore, these Saint Venerables didn't want to stay here. The Green Mountain Clan leader also knew, so he let the first elder of Green Mountain bring these people back to the main hall. He stayed here personally, holding Lin Xian's hand and laughing nonstop. The people of the Green Mountain Clan around them were even more grateful to Lin Xian. Many people offered treasures. The Green Mountain Clan leader also said, "I'll agree to these two conditions. If you have any other requests, the Green Mountain Clan will definitely satisfy you." Seeing the Green Mountain Clan leader's fiery eyes, Lin Xian felt a chill in his heart. Damn, these people are too excited. It seemed that the young master he saved was incredible. It was said that he even had an atavistic bloodline. There was a high chance that he would become a saint king in the future. No wonder these people were so excited that they were about to cry. Senior clan leader, you don't have to be so polite. I'm just trying. To be honest, I didn't have much confidence before. I'm just lucky this time. Young Master Lin, no matter what, you're the savior of the Green Mountain clan. Even though Lin Xian was reluctant, the Green Mountain clan leader still gave a few saint artifacts and some natural treasures to Lin Xian. Young Master Lin, don't worry. We'll open the Green Mountain world in 5 days. Lin Xian nodded. Oh wait then. Then he left. It seemed that this was a blessing in disguise. Not only did he slap the Saint Venerable's face, but he also became the savior of Green Mountain Bamboo. He could do whatever he wanted here. Those Saint Venerables didn't dare to attack him. Moreover, he had obtained several saint artifacts and a pile of natural treasures for free. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes and sang a little tune as he returned to the birthday banquet. The people outside were very lively. They did not know that the people from the first palace had already left. When Lin Xian appeared again, it caused an uproar among countless people. It was Lin Wudi. Many people cried out in surprise. The fact that the other party came out from the first palace was truly enviable. With his hands behind his back, Lin Xian walked toward the second palace. Inside, Emoshio Yu Quan and the others gritted their teeth as they saw this scene. Damn brat, what kind of despicable method did you use? How dare you? Your grandfather and I are of the same generation. How dare you be so arrogant in front of me? Lin Xian snorted coldly. Do you believe that I will drag you to the first palace and let your elders educate you personally? Damn it. Yu Quan and Emoshio were so angry that their lungs were about to explode. They wished that they could make this hateful brat disappear immediately. They had to teach him a lesson. Crackling sounds came from their bodies as all kinds of terrifying laws filled the air. Murong Qingqing and Li Hongxiu walked over. As if they were facing a great enemy. Lin Xian did not care at all. Humph. The Qingshan Great Patriarch walked out and said in a clear voice. From now on, Sir Lin is the most important guest of my Qingshan clan. His status is equal to a core elder. Whoever touches Sir Lin will be my Qingshan clan's enemy. My Qingshan clan will not rest until one of us is dead. His loud and clear voice spread out in all directions. At this moment, everyone was stunned. What was going on? Oh my God, what is going on? This Lin Wudi had not only entered the first palace, but he had also become an important guest. His status was equal to a core elder. Didn't this mean that in the Qingshan clan, besides the Great Patriarch, this Lin Wudi could do whatever he wanted? Just what had happened during this time? Screams and discussions sounded out. Murong Qingqing and Li Hongxiu were also stunned. Brother Xian, what's going on? That's right, kid. How did you do it? There's no other way. The Qingshan Great Patriarch and I hit it off at first sight. So he wants to be friends with me. How about it, Yu Quan, Emoshio? Do you two still want to make a move on me? Yu Quan and Emoshio's faces darkened. What do you mean make a move? They already said that making a move on this kid in front of them was making a move on the Qingshan clan. They were guests here, so they did not want to be kicked out. Kid, just you wait. Once we leave Qingshan City, I'll teach you a lesson. The two of them directly left. Because they felt that if they stayed any longer, they would be angered to death. Sir Lin, you're really surprising. I'm more and more interested in you now. Qin Xianer walked over with a charming face. She exuded endless charm and excellence from head to toe. Seeing this scene, Li Hongxiu coldly snorted. Even Murong Qingqing was fuming, guarding against her as if she was guarding against a thief. Lin Xian smiled bitterly. Had better stay away from this demoness. The birthday banquet ended in this shock. A small number of people left. However, those top experts and geniuses did not leave, because they were waiting. 5 days later, the Qingshan world would open. Their main purpose this time was to come to the Qingshan world. Of course, not many people could enter the Qingshan world. Most of the others could only stay here to watch the show and wait for news. On the third day, Lin Xian was invited away by the Qingshan Great Patriarch again. He thought that the old man was going to thank him. However, to his surprise, The Qingshan Great Patriarch brought him to a pavilion and left. What's going on? Who is he going to see? Lin Xian walked inside. Soon he saw a young man sitting there. His palm followed a strange seal, and wisps of aura spread out from his body. It's this young master. This little guy is really too unusual, isn't he? His cultivation is so mysterious. Lin Xian realized that he couldn't see through him. The young master of Qingshan opened his eyes. There was a touch of vicissitudes in his eyes, but it quickly disappeared. It made people think that it was an illusion. You're here. You're Lin Wudi, right? I heard that you saved me. Thank you. He looked like a young man, only 8 or 9 years old, but he spoke like an old man. It's nothing. It's just a small matter. Besides, I didn't lose anything. Your Qingshan clan has given me a lot of benefits, so you don't have to be too grateful. They don't understand. They don't know what this means to me. But I know very well that if it weren't for you, I'm afraid my life would be ruined. You're very interesting, little guy. Why do I feel like you're an old monster? Oh right? Do you know what illness you have? It's a curse, not an illness. The young master said in a deep voice. A cold light appeared in his eyes. Chapter 4061. Lin Xian was surprised. You actually know it's a curse. He was too shocked. Even the saint couldn't tell. This young master was too strange. Who did you offend? To think that someone had placed the most mysterious curse on him. Lin Xian was very curious. The young master glanced at him. I offended someone. It's too terrifying. Then he revealed a mysterious smile. Do you know? We're the same kind of people. Huh. Lin Xian scratched his head. What did he mean? The young master smiled mysteriously and gave him a jade scroll. Keep this thing well. It'll be of great help to you when you enter the Green Mountain world. I'm still very weak. I still need to cultivate. I won't send you off. We'll meet again when we meet. Lin Xian walked out with the jade scroll. However, he had more doubts in his heart. If it wasn't for the other party's weak cultivation, he would have suspected that the other party was a young-looking old monster, like the unparalleled Saint King. The other party's cultivation was indeed too weak at the moment. He was really just an ordinary young man. Shaking his head, he ignored it. He didn't know what was inside the jade scroll. After returning, Lin Xian probed it with his soul. In the next moment he screamed. Damn! What's wrong? Morong Qingqing was originally resting at the side. When she heard Lin Xian scream, she immediately woke up. On the other side, Li Hongxiu also pushed the door and entered. As she entered, she said, What are you doing? I didn't see anything. She came in with her eyes closed. Morong Qingqing blushed. Sister Hongxiu, you're making fun of me. We didn't do anything. Oh, that's right. It's broad daylight. Li Hongxiu opened her eyes and then frowned. Why are you screaming in broad daylight? Lin Xian was too excited. His hand holding the jade scroll trembled slightly. What's going on? The two beauties were very confused. Lin Xian said that the map of the Green Mountain world, including the array formations and traps, had all been marked. What? Li Hongxiu also screamed. Morong Qingqing's eyes also lit up. Really? Brother Xian, how could you have such a thing? The Green Mountain world was rumored to be incomparably mysterious. Even the people of the Green Mountain clan could not explain it, not to mention a map. However, at this moment, Lin Xian had a piece of the map in his hand. This made them extremely suspicious. Brat, did you get tricked by someone? Li Hongxiu was also cold. The Green Mountain realm was very mysterious. How could there be a map? Who gave it to you? Lin Xian was also puzzled. Could it be that young master's prank? However, he didn't think so because the picture was too detailed. It wasn't something a teenager could pull off as a prank. Was it the idea of the clan master of Green Mountain? But why did he have to give it to him through this young master? He didn't understand, but he firmly memorized the map. He planned to test it out a few days later when he entered the Green Mountain steps. The two of you should also take a look and note it down. When the time comes, we will verify it. Morong Qingqing and Li Hongxiu also reached out their souls. They firmly memorized the map. Another 2 days passed. Finally, the day of the Green Mountain realm's opening arrived. One by one, The experts and geniuses all walked out of the pavilions. Lin Xian, Murong Qingcheng, and Li Hongxiu also walked out. They turned into streams of light and followed the group to the back mountain of the Green Mountain clan. That was the ancestral land. Usually no one could enter. Only when the Green Mountain realm opened would they be allowed to enter. At this moment, in the ancestral land rented by the Green Mountain clan, many experts and elders stood. They joined forces to form a line of defense. No one was allowed to enter. And outside them there were countless figures. Every one of them had an unusually strong aura. Among them, Emoshio Yuquan, and the others were also among them. The clan master of the Green Mountain clan stood out and said in a deep voice, "Everyone, the Green Mountain realm will open soon. When the time comes, I can let everyone in. However, I have something to say in advance. The Green Mountain steps were left behind by the Green Mountain Saint King. It is incomparably mysterious. After so many years, we still can't understand its secrets. We only know that the space inside is very big, as if it was an independent world. Not only are there opportunities, but there are also dangers. There are even demonic beasts and humans living inside. Not only are there martial artists, but there are also ordinary people. You can enter to obtain opportunities and kill demonic beasts, but you can't touch ordinary people. You must keep this in mind. Otherwise, you will be hunted down by the Green Mountain clan." The surrounding people were in an uproar. There were ordinary people living inside. What was this Green Mountain realm? Could it be that it was really a world that had been refined by the Saint King? Even Lin Xian and the others were very curious. This Green Mountain realm was becoming more and more mysterious. Next, they began to wait. About an hour later, a rumbling sound came from a mountain in front of them. Then it cracked open. Inside, a vortex appeared, forming a vortex door. A terrifying and mysterious aura spread out from the vortex door. The surrounding people felt it. They took a deep breath, and a cold light burst out from their eyes. When the Green Mountain clan leader saw this, he said loudly, "All right, the Green Mountain realm is now open. Everyone, you may enter." As soon as he finished speaking, many people around him walked forward. However, they did not enter rashly. After all, it was dangerous to enter an unknown area left behind by the Saint King. When the people of the Green Mountain clan saw this, they took the lead and walked in. This time, their clansmen also wanted to enter. Seeing the people of the Green Mountain clan walk in, the others also followed. "Let's go." Lin Xian waved his hand and flew in with two peerless beauties. "Lin Wudi, the Green Mountain clan is protecting you outside, but once you enter the Green Mountain realm, let's see who can protect you." Yuquan snorted coldly. Emoshio also revealed a cold smile. If possible, he would make Lin Xian stay in the Green Mountain realm forever. More and more people rushed in. Lin Xian and the other two appeared. They appeared on a grassland, surrounded by green grass. A cool breeze blew past, making one feel comfortable. Beside him, Li Hongxiu exclaimed, "This place was too unusual." She felt that the great Tao of heaven and earth around her was boiling violently. Cultivating here could be twice the result with half the effort. Murong Qingcheng was also surprised that the Green Mountain clan had such a sacred place for cultivation. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes and looked around, and then combined with the map he had seen to identify the direction. "We're in the south now." At this moment, a few figures swayed nearby and turned into a few young people. Lin Xian recognized the clothes they were wearing. They were from the Green Mountain clan. When they saw Lin Xian, they also cupped their fists. "Greetings, young Master Lin." They were extremely respectful to Lin Xian. "You're too polite. Young Master Lin, you have to be careful. When we came in, we seemed to feel some people's killing intent towards you." Chapter 4062. Young Master Lin can avoid them for now. Once they are out of the Green Mountain world, they will not dare to act recklessly. Yuquan and Emoshio? Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. These two had wanted to make a move on him for a long time. There might really be a battle in the Green Mountain world this time. I understand. Thank you for telling me. Also, the Patriarch told me to remind you when I see young Master Lin. Oh, what is it? Lin Xian was shocked. When I came in, I heard that someone had just arrived. This person is called Qi Song. What is so special about him? Lin Xian asked. He is Hun Qianyu's disciple. Hun Qianyu is a powerful saint venerable. He was your master's enemy 2,000 years ago and was injured by him. Until now he was still injured and could not enter the Saint King realm. However, he took in 3 disciples. The youngest one is called Qi Song. He seems to be here to deal with you. Did he want revenge? Lin Xian understood right away. Master could not defeat unparalleled Saint King, so he sent his disciple to destroy the geniuses of unparalleled city? How despicable. If Qi Song dared to come, he would send him to hell. Thank you for your reminder. Lin Xian cupped his fists in gratitude. Indeed, if these people did not tell him, he would not have known that he was being targeted by a dangerous person. Since Qi Song dared to come alone, it was enough to show that he was not ordinary. Young Master Lin, please be careful. We will leave first. The few youths of the Green Mountain clan ran in a direction. They had their own goals. We are now in the south. If the map is correct, there should be a cave nearby. There are some Dao insights carved in it. Let's go and take a look. Lin Xian thought that this should be a good way to verify the authenticity of the map. The 3 of them discussed and turned into streams of light, flying into the distance. 20,000 miles away, there was a huge rift valley. 1,000 meters below the rift valley, there was a cave. There were many murals in the cave, and they were filled with Dao insights. Indeed, they saw a huge valley in front of them. There is really a valley. Li Hongxia was shocked. Morong Qingcheng was also happy. Let's see if there are any caves in the canyon. The 3 of them directly flew down the canyon. Sure enough, they found a cave 1,000 meters down. The cave was covered by many vines. There were also countless Dao runes around the cave. Clearly, the entrance of the cave was covered by an array formation. If Zhang Xian did not come down, even a little saint would not be able to tell what was going on. However, Lin Xian and the others had a map, so they obtained it effortlessly. Lin Xian went in to take a look. He waved his hand and tore apart the vines. Then he sent out a flame and flew in. The 9 suns' divine fire turned into a golden crow and circled around inside, illuminating the interior. No danger. Let's go. The 3 of them walked into the cave. Lin Xian's flames turned into a sun that floated in the sky, illuminating the entire cave as if it was daytime. The cave wasn't big, and there were murals painted on the walls. Those were the insights of the Great Tao. The Great Tao insights left behind by a sage king were very useful to them. He hurried to comprehend it. The hillmen were overjoyed. They found that the map was real. This was great. This way they could search for treasures according to the map. The 3 of them began to comprehend the map. Lin Xian was comprehending the map while using the natural treasures given to him by the Green Hill tribe to improve the power of his body and the Great Dragon Sword Soul. The others did not have a map at all, so they could only search aimlessly. These people searched in all directions crazily. Lei Zhen was dead in Thunder God City, and a new chief disciple was chosen. His cultivation base was also at Early Little Saint. As a saint city, Thunder God City had a very strong foundation. Those Saint Venerables elders in the city all had their own disciples. This was the disciple of one of the Saint Venerables elder. He had been quietly cultivating in the Saint City all this time, but after Lei Zhen was killed, he was pushed out. He became the new chief disciple. His name was Luofan. However, he was not ordinary at all. His strength was much stronger than Lei Zhen. He could be considered as a disciple of the previous generation. At this moment, under Luofan's lead, these geniuses of Thunder God City were searching for treasures. Suddenly, a red figure descended from the sky and hovered above their heads. That person squinted his eyes and asked, "Do you know where Lin Wudi is? Who do you think you are? How dare you step on our heads? Get down here." One of the geniuses of Thunder God City roared. Luo Fan frowned. In this place, other than the people on the pilgrim list whom he was afraid of, he did not care about the others. Now someone was stepping on his head. Did he not know his place? "Kneel down and kowtow to me. I can give you a quick death." Luo Fan said indifferently. "Looks like you're their leader. Since that's the case, let's ask you. The others can go and die." The crimson figure in the sky sneered. Many red Dao runes appeared on his body and spread out in all directions. Those red Dao runes seemed to have turned into poisonous needles that were slanting downwards. The void was pierced through endlessly. You're courting death. How dare you look down on us? The geniuses of Thunder God City were furious. The other party dared to fight against them alone? They had a dozen experts on their side. You're courting death. Let's kill him together. We'll use the cruelest method to torture him to death. These geniuses soared into the sky and struck out their laws to block the needles. However, they soon screamed miserably. They could not block those red needles at all. Each of the needles was a law that directly pierced through their bodies. In an instant, 2 of them turned into a hornet's nest. Their bodies were full of bloody holes and looked extremely miserable. Even their souls were stung to death. Not good. This person is an expert. Quickly defend. The other 7 people roared, but it was useless. The red needles fell from the sky and all 7 of them were killed. The only one left alive was Luo Fan. At this moment, Luo Fan's pupils shrank and cold sweat flowed down his body. Damn it! Who is this person? How can he be so strong? Who are you? How dare you kill the people of Thunder God City? Do you want to become my enemy? Trash, you dare to ask me? Answer me first. Do you know where Lin Wudi is? I don't know. Luo Fan shook his head. Seems like you want to die too. The red figure in the sky slowly descended. Luo Fan took 3 steps back. Our Thunder God City has enmity with Lin Wudi. If I knew, how could I hide it? Since you don't know, then go and die. After saying that, the red figure waved his hand. The terrifying red needles once again turned into a torrent and rushed over. Damn it! 9 Revolution Divine Thunder. Luo Fan did not dare to be careless. He immediately used Thunder God City's lost technique. His body had terrifying lightning and it quickly spread. In an instant he reached the 6th revolution. Chapter 4063. With a palm strike, the 6th revolution Divine Thunder, accompanied by his Thunder God palm, was extremely powerful. However, it was useless. The 6th revolution Divine Thunder was broken in an instant. Luo Fan was injured, and he was also pierced into a hornet's nest. His body was shattered, and a soul fled in panic. Still want to escape? The crimson figure in the sky reached out a hand and grabbed the soul. Then he directly collected the soul. The soul was burned, and he screamed. After half an incense stick of time, the red figure retracted his hand. He really didn't know. What a piece of trash. Forget it. Let's find another person to ask. The red figure disappeared again, leaving only the corpses of the Thunder Saint City scattered all over the ground. In another area, in front of a large waterfall, 4 figures kept shuttling back and forth. Senior Brother Jean, is there really a treasure in this place? Yes, this Green Mountain world is too big. We can't find it at all. Zhang Yunfei said. We can only rely on luck. If we can't find it, it can only be said that we are not destined to have it. But before that, we have to work hard to find it. The 4 of them began a large-scale search. Sword Chi with the power of the soul probed in all directions. They covered a radius of millions of miles. Suddenly, a stream of light flashed past. It slashed down. A sword saint screamed and flew out. Who is it? The other 2 sword saints roared. Zhang Xiongfei also snorted coldly and rushed forward. Someone actually dared to attack their 10,000 swords pavilion. They were courting death. Soon, they saw their junior brother lying on the ground with his head being stepped on by a red figure. The red figure grabbed the sword saint's soul and directly pulled it out to search his soul. A miserable voice sounded. Damn it, how dare you? The 2 sword saints roared. Their long swords intertwined, and a terrifying sword Dao erupted. Ice sword Dao. Endless ice sword Chi spread out, freezing everything. Thunder sword Dao. Another person attacked. Thunder flashed between heaven and earth, turning into a divine sword that soared into the sky. The 2 sword saints attacked. They were really powerful to the extreme. They were courting death. The red figure sneered. With a wave of his hand, countless red laws turned into red needles, sweeping over from all directions. Thunder sword Dao and ice sword Dao were both pierced through. The 2 sword saints were also beaten into a hornet's nest. They were bleeding from their 7 orifices and their eyes were wide open. Was he going to lose just like that? He was unwilling to accept this. Their souls left their scabbards and hugged their holy swords, wanting to escape. Those red needles turned into two chains that pulled the souls of the two people, and then collected them. No, no, what a piece of trash. The red figure roared, and the void within a million li shattered. Seeing this scene, Zhang Xiangfei's expression became extremely ugly. Just who are you? Why are you attacking my 10,000 swords pavilion? You're the only one left. Speak, do you know where Lin Wudi is? Were they looking for Lin Wudi? Zhang Xiangfei's pupils shrank. Are you Lin Wudi's enemy? It just so happens that we're the same. Why don't we join forces? You? The red figure snorted coldly. You are not qualified. Impudent. Zhang Xiangfei was enraged. He was the sword saint of the previous generation, and his strength was unparalleled. You killed a disciple of my 10,000 swords pavilion. Today, I will use your blood as a sacrifice to my junior brother's soul. As he spoke, he unsheathed the sword on his back. Water sword Dao. With a loud bang, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. Terrifying waves swept across the sky, turning into a huge sword chi with a terrifying aura. It slashed forward. The endless void shattered. Zhang Xiangfei was really too strong. He was even stronger than the three sword saints combined, and even more terrifying than Luo Fan. It was a little interesting. The red figure waved his red sword, resisting the attack. The sky was pierced by two rays of light, one red and the other blue. The two sides clashed, causing the sky to collapse and the earth to crack. Not bad, you are qualified to make me attack. Remember my name is Qisong. The red light on the figure slowly disappeared, revealing an ice-cold face. This was a man dressed in a scarlet robe. A red pine tree was drawn on his body, and it looked like Su Rusheng. Now that you know my name, you can die in peace. Qisong launched his attack. It was a terrifying divine ability. Endless red light spun between heaven and earth, forming a red pine tree. It was even more majestic than an ancient mountain. The aura on it was terrifying. The pine tree shook, and countless pine needles fell down, as if it was a heavenly tribulation. Boom boom. Zhang Xiangfei roared and instantly activated 10,000 swords. His combat strength increased again. Sword after sword slashed into the void, and countless huge swords surged. The two of them fought for 30 moves. Half of Zhang Xiangfei's body was smashed, turning into a hornet's nest. He was terrified. Too strong. Who was this person? He had never heard of him. But the other party's strength made him despair. Explode. He exploded the broken half of his body, and his soul wrapped the other half of his body, and escaped with the sacred sword. You can't escape. The red pine needles turned into chains and swept out, piercing through heaven and earth, blocking the other party's path. Damn it! The sacred sword instantly exploded, and he left with his broken body. Those chains were broken by the sacred sword. Qisong looked at this scene and narrowed his eyes. The 10,000 swords pavilion is indeed difficult to deal with. You can escape from my hands. He looked at the disappearing figure in the distance and did not chase after it. Forget it. My main goal is still to kill Lin Wudi. Shaking his head, he put away the illusion of heaven and earth and disappeared between heaven and earth. Following that, people were killed from time to time. These people were terrified. They knew that a powerful scarlet figure called Qisong had come to kill Lin Wudi. Damn it, what kind of person did Lin Wudi provoke? For a time, many saints did not dare to search for treasures, and went into hibernation. Inside the canyon, Lin Xian and the other two were comprehending the great Tao of heaven and earth day and night. Great, my flowing cloud sleeve is even stronger than before. Li Hongxiu opened her eyes, and a smile appeared on her face. On the other side, Murong Qingqing also said that the power of my Kunlun slash had also increased. Brother Xian, what about you? Lin Xian stood up and said, my nomological laws are much more refined than before. As expected of the Green Mountain world. According to this map, we might be able to break through. He was too excited. The two peerless beauties were also extremely excited. The three of them left the cave and left the canyon. Let's go to the next place. It's not far from here. There was a spiritual herb garden there, but it was occupied by some powerful demonic beasts. Let's go take a look. Lin Xian and the other two went again. According to the map, there was a mountain occupied by terrifying demon saints. Those 3 demon saints were very terrifying. They had all reached the small saint realm. They were a lion, an elephant, and a golden rock. They were very terrifying. Lin Xian and the other two were stronger. Murong Qingqing and Li Hongxiu fought against them separately. The 3 of them fought, and the sky fell and the earth cracked. In the end, they killed the 3 powerful demon saints. Chapter 4064. This was great. This was a spiritual herbal garden. There were actually many 10,000-year-old spiritual herbs. They were too excited. They were careful to leave all the roots behind. This way, these spiritual herbs could grow again and benefit future generations. Lin Xian was very familiar with these things. They collected the entire spiritual herbal garden. There were 36 10,000-year-old spiritual herbs, and there were even more 8,000-year-old and 9,000-year-old spiritual herbs. This spiritual herbal garden allowed Lin Xian and the others to harvest nearly 500 spiritual herbs of heaven and earth. This was great. Lin Xian and the others directly divided it. Li Hongxiu kept it and said, "When we go back, I'll ask my father to refine some good pills for me. I'll give you some when the time comes." "Do you still need to go back? I can refine them for you now." Lin Xian's lips curled up into a smile. "You know this skill?" Li Hongxiu was surprised. Of course, divine pills were not a problem. "Come on." Lin Xian took out the Great Void Divine Furnace and prepared to refine pills. As for flying and searching for other treasures, he would leave it to these 2 peerless beauties. Murong Qingqing directly shot out a phoenix shadow, and the 3 of them walked up. Li Hongxiu began to search for the next treasure according to her memory of the map. Just like that, the 3 of them went on their way. In the sky, a crimson light streaked across. Damn it, are these people from the sacred grounds useless? They don't even know where Lin Wudi is. Qi Song's face was a little cold. This time he was ordered to kill Lin Wudi. His master had lost to the unparalleled Sage King back then. Now he was going to kill the most powerful young genius in Wushuang City to avenge his master. Hey, the energy fluctuation in front, that's a phoenix. It should be a powerful guy. Let's go up and take a look. Qi Song saw the light in the distance and immediately rushed up. In the next moment, endless crimson pine needles fell down. This was his method. No matter who it was, he would first severely injure them and then ask them. At that time, the other party would not dare to lie to him. Murong Qingqing felt a sense of danger approaching, and her face suddenly changed. Not good. Her palms formed an imprint. The phoenix phantom beneath her feet roared and spat out rainbow-colored radiance. It formed a barrier in the sky and blocked those red pine needles. Li Hongxiu stood up. "Who dares to attack us? To think that he could block my attack." Qi Song walked out of the void and looked down. His eyes then lit up. What stunning beauties, and there were 2 of them. Looks like I'm in luck today. I won't kill the 2 of you. Come with me obediently and become my beloved concubines. Not interested. Murong Qingqing coldly snorted. Li Hongxiu also rolled her eyes. This guy must be retarded. He actually dared to say such words to them. Qi Song smiled and said, "Let me ask you, do you know where Lin Wudi is?" Lin Wudi. Li Hongxiu was stunned. Murong Qingqing also frowned. "Why are you looking for Lin Wudi? From the looks of it, the other party didn't count." Qi Song laughed. Naturally, he wanted to kill Yi Futian. At this point, an even more terrifying radiance appeared on his body. In the next moment, his eyes lit up. That was because he saw a young man sitting behind the 2 beauties. There was a divine cauldron in the young man's hand. It danced in the air, and flames filled the sky. Previously, he was attracted by Murong Qingqing's appearance. However, when he saw the young man, his eyes lit up. He shook his hand and a scroll appeared in the void. "You look exactly the same. You must be Lin Wudi, right? The heavens are helping me." He didn't expect to meet him this time. These 2 beauties must be Lin Wudi's women. It's a good opportunity to kill Lin Wudi and take the 2 beauties away. Qi Song's lips curled into a cold smile. "Kid, I've been looking for you. Now kneel down and accept your death. If you want to touch Brother Xian, you'll have to ask me first." Murong Qingqing coldly snorted. Her beautiful eyes shone with rainbow-colored radiance. The phantom of the phoenix beneath her feet became even more terrifying. It was as if a real divine beast had been resurrected. You want to fight us with just you alone? Li Hongxiu, who was beside her, opened and closed her hands. Her sleeves bloomed with a mysterious radiance. Why do you only dare to hide behind a woman? Aren't you very arrogant? Qi Song snorted. Buzz. Lin Xian opened his eyes. 2 streaks of sword light flashed in his eyes and pierced through the void. Qi Song. He had already heard from the martial artists in Qingshan City that there was an expert who wanted to kill him. His name was Qi Song. He didn't expect to meet him so soon. Well, since I've met him, I'll deal with him. Buzz. Lin Xian formed a seal with one hand and stood up. However, there was still another one of him sitting cross-legged in the same place. A clone? Li Hongxiu was surprised. Murong Qingqing also said that Brother Xian was not an ordinary person. Don't worry, it's just a clone refining pills. I'll be able to deal with him with the remaining strength. Lin Xian walked over. He used the 9 Suns divine fire to form a clone to refine pills. As for him, he was prepared to fight against the other party. Kid, you're too reckless. More than 10 experts have died in my hands. You still dare to use a clone to refine pills? Even if you're at your peak, you're not my match. We'll know if I'm your match after we fight. Lin Xian walked forward with a calm expression. Although he no longer had the 9 Suns divine fire, his aura did not weaken. Instead, it became stronger. The laws of swords surrounded him. Since you're courting death, I'll fulfill your wish. On the opposite side, Qi Song snorted coldly. With a wave of his hand, endless red pine needles flew over. They covered the sky and earth like a flood. Previously, Song Zhen had been able to easily pierce through a 5th-level celestial realm genius. Even Luo Fan had suffered under this mystic skill. Lin Xian took a step forward. He raised his arm and the laws of sword surrounded it. He slashed forward with his sword. A terrifying sword light broke through the void and illuminated the sky. The red needles in front of him exploded. Boom! A terrifying wave of energy came from the front. Behind him, the phantom of a phoenix cried. It spread its wings and a 7-colored light blocked everything. Murong Qingqing rode the phoenix and retreated. You're just SOSO. Lin Xian blocked the pine needles with his sword and asked. Back then, your master lost to the unparalleled Saint King. Now you're still no match for me. You want revenge, but unfortunately, you've found the wrong person. Humph. You're a swordsman with some tricks up your sleeve. But so what? A disdainful smile appeared on Qi Song's face. Even the small saints of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion were defeated by me. Let alone you. Behind him, the phantom of a red pine tree appeared, emitting a dazzling light. The ancient tree swayed like a clap of thunder, shaking the entire world. Crack! With another palm, the red pine tree behind him shook. This time, the branches shook and turned into a divine spear, thrusting over. Heaven and earth collapsed in an instant. The void around Lin Xian shattered instantly. It could not withstand the power at all. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.